All right, let's do this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the Jedi 08, also known as Jeremy the Jedi Guillory, and
Classic Mike here as usual.
this is the Broken Turnbuckle podcast. So last week we said that we were going to do the top 10 best SummerSlams. However, right when we were about to um, get the list ready. We decided that that was going to be done on Thursday. A lot of things happened. Um, First, we got Ozzy Osbourne passing away, WWE Hall of Famer, rock legend. Um, that was no big deal for us, because
Just music, that's all it is.
yeah, he just contributed to the music portion of it.
Plus he appeared that match at the WrestleMania, I think.
Yeah,
Four,
had some good segments with WWE, but overall,
Is he
not
Hall of Fame next year? No doubt.
he's actually already in the Hall of Fame.
Might do a tribute to him again. You never know.
Yeah. So yeah, and then in so that was about what, Tuesday or Wednesday.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then we get right before I go to work on Thursday, I get a message saying Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I had to look it up sometimes.
Yeah,
It wasn't big this time.
yeah. I was like,
Don't do celebrity deaths like that.
yeah. And when they say that what's going on with Hulk Hogan, we're like, well, he just got out of the hospital from heart surgery.
Surgery.
That there was rumor saying that he was in a coma at one point, but you know he just got out, and we're thinking, okay, it's nothing really that serious.
If it was coma, they were not released into the hospital.
Yeah. And then they said that, oh, he was at his home and had a cardiac arrest episode, and
Probably well, it is because heart surgery is very difficult. Sometimes you can get heart arrests.
yeah,
Your heart can't take it. Depends how bad your heart is.
yeah. I mean, it comes out as a shock to us, and usually the immediate shock is that does not need to happen that way.
Right.
Um, you have to check and make sure that it's not a rumor or anything.
I looked it up 3 times before me news.
Yeah,
It
it came directly from TMZ, directly from all reliable sources. So we were like, yeah, this is legit. Tributes started pouring in like crazy, and we just sat, and I just sat there, was like, okay, so there's got to be something going on here. Um, and I think later on that day, I messaged you saying that, yeah, I think we need to talk about what we're going to do about this podcast this week.
Yes, we should do this episode because
Yeah,
we pushed the SummerSlam back because it's not more important than SummerSlam right now.
yeah. So, and last night, WWE did their usual tribute.
But they extended it. 'Cause I saw the video. They extended it to just talking 10 bell. Then they extended
They did the 10 bell salute. They did some highlights, tribute video, things like that. The only thing that I saw that they did not do that they've done previously is have legends come out and talk about Hulk Hogan.
Well, they're speaking on social media. That's why you don't do that. They're all
Yeah,
been coming on social media since Thursday. You don't need to bring them on again. They already talk.
yeah,
They all did their own podcasts and interviews and stuff like that.
yeah,
Why do it? They're doing the media because it's a big media thing. Hogan's not just a wrestler; it's an entertainer.
yeah,
They're going to be coming pouring in from their sites and their messages. That's why they didn't do
yeah,
this. It wasn't like But Eddie Guerrero passed away, or Owen Hart passed away, and did it immediately on the show and stuff. Back then, there was so much social media back then there is now.
Yeah.
That's why they don't do it anymore. There's so much supposed to be out there.
Yeah.
Everybody do they're
Yeah.
still doing more comments on it.
Right.
They don't stop.
So there is the question of what they're going to do on Raw for it, or is that going to be it for WWE, or are they just going to say, well, we've already done the tribute for Hulk Hogan on SmackDown. There's no sense in us doing a tribute for him for
Unless they get the legends come in on Raw before instead of this roster and have a treatment that way.
yeah,
Smooth.
yeah,
But you never know what's going to happen.
yeah, yeah. The trouble with the trouble with having it done on SmackDown is, yes, it's on USA now and things,
Yeah.
but everyone watches Raw more so than SmackDown as well. So,
Yeah,
uh,
you got Netflix.
right, right,
More,
yeah,
more face that
and
is USA
and
is.
yeah, and right
But
when
they can do more and then go overtime.
yeah,
SmackDown cannot.
yeah, believe it or not, um, I did go on to Peacock on Thursday, and they already had the Hulkamania tributes out there, like all the playlists of his best matches, his events.
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube in a few days. Usually they ship it because YouTube's got WWE channel. They're going to do Peacock shipping on there
Yeah,
next few days. So it usually happens. That's the only reason I get rid of Peacock. So stuff on there from repeats on there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because the
So
matches from the interviews go on there.
yeah, yeah. So another thing about Hulk Hogan is that um, he is a legend, um, as they've all said before. WWE and wrestling would not be where it is today without him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now we do need to talk about some other things about him because he was very polarizing later on in his career.
Yep.
There was some controversy that really tarnished his legacy about 10 years ago. Um, and Before that, the only negative thing that people would say about him was the issues with steroids and creative freedom with WCW. That led to WCW's downfall. Those were the only two things all the way up until 10 years ago that people would say negative things about Hulk Hogan. We're going to
He's
get
got,
on to what happened a little
he's
bit
got a lot
later
of things
on.
like that. He got a lot of things like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Just not one thing, tons of things. That's why everybody booed him when he was on Raw.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a few things that need to be said later on this show, on this episode, as to what led on to him getting booed out of his last appearance on Raw. And there's a couple reasons why. It's not
Won
just
the war.
because
They won
of
the controversy, won something else.
yeah, yeah. It was just a couple things. Um, the location was one of the big things, but yeah, it's just location and timing for that. But um, He started wrestling in 1979. Uh,
No. According to he was trained 74, he started wrestling 77 for Independence before AWA got him first, and then he went from AWA to WE in 79. Then he went
yeah,
back afterwards. You
yeah,
remember, he's got his minor indie career between 77 and 79 before he
yeah,
was at AWA. He has a minor career, and then Bergani picked him up.
yeah. Now, if I'm
On,
not
on his buddy human shooter who trained him. So
right,
on his way, he got him first.
right now,
But he teams.
right, Now, if I'm not mistaken, when he first got into wrestling, he went to a big time wrestler, I think in Florida,
He went Mansuda, former
and
Japanese wrestler
right,
and trainer.
right. There was a wrestler that was at one time big in WWE at one time.
That's the same person.
Yeah. And he comes up to him and says he wants to be a wrestler. He says, okay. And the guy's a Hall of Famer now. And the guy nearly broke Hulk Hogan's leg the first time.
He didn't nearly break it. He broke it. He
He
wanted to
broke
see
it.
if he could handle the pain. And back then,
Yeah.
that's how they wrestled. That's how they trained. The wrestlers
Yeah.
usually train either some hurt you, some make you think. He actually broke his leg. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Even Hogan said in an interview he broke his leg, so he didn't come back.
Yeah.
Well, after the leg healed, he came back and he trained him. Because sometimes these guys will come in and just want the glory stuff. Don't know how to wrestle, don't know how to do stuff, and all this. It pisses them off. People timers back then.
Yeah.
Not like it is now, but that's how they trained you. Some train you like this, some train you different way. It's just the way it was back then in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. And then he start so he moves around between early on his career. There's move arounds between AWA, NWA, and WWE between the late 70s, early 80s.
He never wrestled for NBA. He didn't do that till after he got fired the first
Okay.
time. Then he went to NBA for a little while under a different name, under his own name, and then
Yeah.
went back
Yeah.
to AWA and
Yeah.
became
I- I'm,
Hulkamania.
I'm going by the analogy
Yeah, some things they
thing.
missed.
So,
Some
yeah,
things they missed.
some things that they miss, some
I was
things
around
they,
that time, so
yeah,
I know this.
yeah, yeah.
I was a kid that
I,
time when he was
I,
out.
I was born in '88.
I was born in
At,
'70,
so,
so I know a lot about
so
this.
yeah, I have to go by with what all research I have. I've got to go
Yeah,
by
listen,
with
my research,
everything else.
last I personally know that
Yeah,
they don't tell you in research, so I'll help you fill in the lines.
yeah, yeah. So it's it gets, but in when so he joined WWE when Vince Senior was still in charge of it, right before Vince McMahon buys the company out.
Nick Jr., yes.
Yes. And he starts having this big push with the company around that time. And of course, comes Vince Jr., he buys the company and he sees Hulk Hogan as the big moneymaker. So he centers WrestleMania around him. He centers,
Well, WrestleMania did not come out till later. This is
yeah,
before
yeah,
WrestleMania. This is
yeah.
when he starts
He
up before the
tries
WrestleMania.
to,
He
yeah.
jumped
They do the promotions
before
around
that.
him and everything. He becomes the
Yep.
big marquee guy after uh, Bruno Sammartino, Billy Graham, and all of them. Um, and he wins the championship from Iron Sheik.
Right.
Um,
There's a little story behind that too. When you're done, I'll tell you the little story.
yeah, yeah.
The Sheik said.
So the Iron Sheik became champion, I believe, just so that someone would be able to get the crowd angry, and they needed a hero, an American hero, to become the next champion.
That is kind of wrong. According to sources, Bob Backlund got injured prior to his neck injury prior to wrestling the Sheik. He went against doctor's orders not to wrestle the Sheik, but he couldn't defend the title, so then Bisite thought the Sheik had it. Just yeah, the bad guy role, but not because of Hulk Hogan. This was way before Hulk Hogan. Backlund supposed to have a rematch, which never happened.
Yeah,
Because they didn't know the permit. So he scrambled around to find someone. When he found out Hulkamania was starting in the AWA and Hogan became a good guy, he decided to bring him in. That's
Yeah.
the real story. It's not because he needed heroes, because Backlund had serious neck injury. He couldn't wrestle much anymore. That's why they get decided on the Sheik. And then the Sheik was supposed to break the leg of Hulk Hogan because Vern Guy got mad at him because he went with Vince McMahon. He told Sheik to break Hogan's leg. He said he wouldn't do it
Yeah.
because he wanted to do it. McMahon wanted him to do
Yeah.
it. He says
Yeah. Yeah.
bigger money, and then he didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's what Vern
Yeah.
Guy was pissed off
So
because he left.
yeah.
So came on.
Okay. Um so Hulk Hogan comes to WWE,
Yep.
wins the title,
Mm-hmm.
and they say that that's when Hulkamania was born in
Uh,
WWE.
yeah, that's covered it up. If
In
you watch so many interviews, Hogan even said himself it was starting in the AWA.
yeah,
But he wanted to become champion. They wouldn't let him become champion. That's the reason why he left.
right.
Hogan was just starting out. And yeah, became big in WWE, but originally started out AWA. That's what they try not to
Yeah.
tell you. But Hogan said it was just where it started when he became a good guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then it
So
became bigger. It
that's
became bigger in WWE. It didn't start, it
yeah.
became bigger.
Yeah. 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 So I don't think there's a specific date on when Hulkamania was actually born.
Yeah, but
Um,
Hogan's all on back review. He said it was starting up in '88 to like when Ric Flair for go when he went against Harley Race for the championship. Same
yeah.
thing trying to build Hogan and Bockwinkel, but they didn't want
Yeah.
or they didn't want to drop from Bockwinkel, so they pushed Hogan to sign Hogan. That's I'm done. Got done from Vince McMahon. Boom, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
became bigger when it was a WWE. Everybody thought that's when it started, but then when Hogan did his biography on TV, he announced that it was starting at AWA, but Brendan might capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Vince did. That's became bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when he started prayers and vitamins in WWE. He never did
Yeah.
that in WWE. He did that in WWE to make it bigger.
Yeah. So,
Come on,
um, so he becomes champion.
right?
Um,
On the match.
he holds the championship for like what 5 years or so.
Yeah,
Uh,
something like that.
yeah, and he uses that championship um, in the publicity to help promote Saturday Night Main Event, promote WrestleMania,
Yeah.
um, promote Survivor Series, and all these
Okay.
other things.
Okay. I like to stop for a minute. Everyone, before I do anything, everyone's got to know why Hogan was fired by Vince Senior. A lot of people know that don't. Vince Senior is very particular press for wrestlers doing entertainment business. At
Yeah,
the time when Andre Giant the $6 million man, he wasn't with WWE. But when Hulk
yeah,
Hogan did Rocky 3 before he came to WWE, during WWE, he wanted to do Rocky 3. Vince Senior says, my wrestlers are not going to be doing movies. He gave Hogan ultimatum. Stay as a bad guy and keep going, or you're fired for doing Rocky 3. So he got fired for doing Rocky 3. And that's when Hogan became more popular after Rocky 3. And that's when
yeah,
Hulkamania started in AWA. And Junior wanted him back because Junior wanted to turn everything into entertainment. But his father
yeah,
was a strictly old school wrestler, didn't want his wrestlers to do anything else but wrestling.
yeah.
That's why he got
Th-
fired
that
the first
that's
time.
why that's why in the
He got
early
fired the first time.
'80s it
They're starting.
is very. You'll see clips of him in WWE. You'll see clips of him in AWA.
Yeah, he was a
Um,
bad guy afraid blasting when he first was in there, trying to
yeah,
destroy Andre the Giant. That's
yeah,
the thing he
yeah.
wanted to do.
There's believe it or not, the WrestleMania 3 match is not Hulk Hogan's first match against Andre the Giant.
Jay Stadium, 1980, but he ran away because he couldn't
Yeah,
defeat Andre and lost by countout.
yeah, yeah.
I
There
saw the
there
match. They
were
showed it on
several.
TV.
They
Showed it on
had
TV.
several matches in and out of WWE
Yeah,
before
trying to make it
then.
a good thing, but because
Yeah,
before that, he's trying to Vince got him because he reminded him of superstar Billy Graham, who did
yeah,
the same exact thing way before that.
yeah, yeah.
That's why
And
Hogan's reminded him of it.
yeah, yeah. And
Hogan
I
prayed
have
his
seen
start to get
footage.
weak start.
Yeah, and I have seen footage of
All over the internet.
those matches.
I saw
And
all those matches they showed on TV. They're awesome.
yeah, Yeah. One of the biggest footages that I've seen is very grainy, where he would be in like a parking lot against Andre the Giant, and first um, couple of minutes, actually first 30 seconds, first thing he does is body slams Andre the Giant onto the mat, and he tries to do the leg drop, kicks out. They do a few more tussles, and they end up doing a disqualification thing, or there would
Yeah,
be
like he ran
a
out. He could defeat Andre the Giant, so he ran out
yeah.
like a
There
coward
would either be a disqualification going on,
or cow.
or he would pin Andre the Giant dirtily, get the win. And this was all during the time when um, WWE was selling Andre the Giant as this undefeated monster
Mm-hmm.
and things, without them knowing, oh, he's been in all these other promotions and he's won some, he's lost some. It's still just there. But back then, there wasn't really much actual footage of it until they buy
Yeah,
up the
yeah,
library.
because some of the footage got re-recorded over because they re-record all the footage over. It's why I can't find many
Yeah,
WE Miss Square Garden things they had on Saturday nights. You couldn't find much of those anymore because
yeah,
they only kept the key ones and
yeah.
then got they record over everything else.
Right, right. And
Back then, because
believe it or
nobody did
not, believe it or not, Hulk Hogan is not the first one that slammed Andre the Giant.
Nope.
There was Harley Race.
Yep.
There
And
was,
it was in NWA.
yeah. Um, I believe there was that at one time superstar Billy Graham slammed him at one time.
Yeah, I was still. I think
Um,
that was AWA at the time. Graham went to AWA when he left. That's just when he did them
Dust,
there. If I remember, if
uh,
I'm not sure, but I know it's
if I'm
either
not
NWA or
mistaken,
AWA.
Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair may have.
Uh,
All
Flair, no, because by that time, Flair was in that plane crash.
okay.
He couldn't lift him because his back was seriously hurt.
Yeah,
He never slammed Andre. He was supposed to, but then he got in that plane crash. That's what did all. He
yeah,
ran against Andre, but he couldn't slam him.
yeah,
He couldn't do
yeah,
much with his back injury. And Dusty Rhodes almost did, but he
yeah.
didn't do it.
Okay.
He got most people. He never had him over his head.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing. He couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
the biggest thing with Andre the Giant though is that my uncle would say that he would watch matches where Andre the Giant would face up against 3 to 5 men at
Yep.
once and beat and pin them.
Yep.
But
The ham and the anchors, Bobby King used to call them
yeah, yeah.
during
So
the wrestlers.
back on to Hulk Hogan and his career.
He
Um, so the first WrestleMania match was between was a tag team with him and Mr. T versus Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper, or with Cowboy Bob Orton.
You know what led to
Or
that? Something happened on TV that led to that.
the event on MTV. Um,
Yep. And then all the other stuff that was going on during the TV because Hopper kept calling him out
yeah,
all the time. He wouldn't come out because he didn't make much TV appearances. And then
yeah,
they did MTV thing, and then they did the WrestleMania thing.
yeah.
So that's got their
Uh,
few stars.
now I know he went in. Correct me if I'm wrong. WrestleMania 1. I know he went up against Paul Orndorff in the tag team, but was Bob Orton, Cowboy Bob Orton, his tag team partner, or was it
No,
Roddy Piper?
it was Roddy Piper and Paul Orton versus Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. Bob Orton was in the corner. During the
Okay.
match, Bob was supposed to, Orton was holding, I think, Mr. T, I think, and Orton was going to use his arm to hit him.
Yeah,
Or
and they
Hogan.
got
They moved to hit Orton. That's the only decision in the match. He hit Orton instead.
okay.
And then they got the pin, and then he left Orton in the ring.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
Hogan became first, blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
That's what he participated in the match, but he wasn't the tag team partner. He was the outside
Yeah,
bodyguard of Roddy Piper.
yeah. I remember watching the match um, on a DVD set, but I just couldn't. can't remember right offhand on which one it
Well,
was.
that's what I remember. The
Yeah,
key points I remember. Once in a while, I watch them again.
yeah, yeah.
Or I just
Now,
remember.
Roddy Piper did go on throughout a long time saying that he was the only person that Hulk Hogan never pinned in the 80s.
He never did. He was always
Yeah,
disqualification or a count out. Because Hogan never, ever pinned him.
yeah.
That was
And
that was the
that's
ongoing
the key.
rivalry. As ongoing rivalry, but then after WrestleMania, that kind of cooled down.
Yeah,
And Piper did his thing, and Hogan did his thing. It was just an
yeah.
event to try to get wrestling up, so WrestleMania would work.
The
Vince put
key,
everything on the line. So
yeah, the key word there is he never pinned him.
nope.
Um,
That was supposed to be all the way through. Never to pin. I'm
yeah,
not supposed
yeah,
to pin
yeah.
each other. That was
So
that's what kept the rivalry going.
yeah,
If you wanted
the
more.
the thing is that yes, Hogan actually beat him, won matches, but he never pinned him.
Right. No
Um,
disqualification or count outs.
yeah. So go on to WrestleMania 2.
Yep.
He beat King Kong Bundy in the main event in a steel cage match. Um,
But he got beaten up. I forgot who, and he only got beaten up before the match before he threw him in Bundy. I forgot who it was. The match before that, I forgot who it was.
yeah.
And then he just threw him in the ring. I think it was the Boss Man at the time.
Uh,
Boss Man was doing. I think we had a match before that. He beat him up and threw him in the ring against Bundy, but he still
Yeah.
beat Bundy. That's why he started going against the Boss
it,
Man after
it's
that.
it's hard for me to actually confirm
I'm
that.
trying to remember everything.
Yeah, yeah, because there's not very much on WrestleMania 2.
Yeah, there's more like
Um,
not a lot of matches
there's
are on there. Some are missing.
yeah,
Basically.
yes, there's some matches missing.
Yep.
People would at I believe that was before they would have it on TV and have it on record.
Well, basically, some of the cable companies that were still new
Yeah,
had starting showing specials and stuff on TV. My cable system still both WrestleMania 1, but it was taped
yeah,
night
yeah,
before. It wasn't
yeah,
live. WrestleMania 2 1 was never live. WrestleMania 2 was it. A lot, but our system showed it. It was in 3 different places,
yeah,
but it was live.
yeah.
A lot of
So
companies weren't out yet. Basically, it's a lot of areas. It was just because cable was still going through the nation, brand new. I thought I know where you live. I don't think got to like later. They started
yeah,
doing it
yeah,
after they started doing
yeah,
WrestleMania 3 on.
yeah.
That's just probably
We
when you
we
got. But
yeah
the
we discussed last week on how um the WWE events would play out, like the pay per views or PLEs now would play out back in the 80s and things where they did the closed circuits and have things go down that way.
it's called closed circuit TV at the time before it was
Yeah,
known as pay.
yeah,
That's what it's
yeah,
called, closed circuit television.
yeah. So that's why WrestleMania 2 is very hard to come by with the footage. And
Unless you get the box set, you got the box set, you got the whole thing.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
so it had
So
nothing out. Any other WrestleManias, they played the whole thing straight through. Just
right,
WrestleMania 1 was just, went from match back, so it was taped.
yeah.
So
So
a lot
then
different than WrestleManias.
then we get the big event with WrestleMania 3. WrestleMania 3 was the biggest WrestleMania of Hogan's career, um, where he was up against Andre the Giant.
Yeah, Andre was dying at the time.
Yeah,
That's why they
well,
wanted to do a
he
match.
he still lived to till
Yeah, but
about
they didn't know how long he had, but he was dying at the time. He was
yeah. He
losing
just
weight
got done
rapidly, couldn't
filming
walk
The
anymore.
Princess Bride.
He did that before he found out diagnosis.
Yeah, yeah.
Before he found
So
so
there's interviews, there's segments about the match itself. The build up to it was that he goes on to the Piper's Pit. Andre the Giant comes out with Bobby Heenan, and they present a trophy presentation. And
that was the Bobby Heenan was never involved. It was just Hogan and Piper. Big awards. Andre got the tiny award. He got 3 before Bobby Heenan got involved.
yeah,
The week before, it was just trophy presentation. It was this build up because Andre, after he did Princess Bride, he found 2 weeks later that he was.
The trophy. They do a trophy presentation. Hogan gets a big trophy. Andre gets a smaller one. They try to sell it off, saying that um, Andre has gone on a 10-year undefeated streak, which, as we said before, you can't really prove it that much um, because there's still footage. You could not see the footage then, but you can still access the footage now on
That
that.
was early. He got pinned early in his career a lot. He
Yeah,
didn't get
yeah,
pinned later on. This was when later on he became when he was in WWE. That's what it counted. WWE undefeated
yeah,
streak, not the other ones.
yeah. Then
But
you get
what happened with the trophy ceremony? I'll explain it again. Is it was a popularity contest. People was supposed to get a big trophy. Andre got a small trophy. Got mad and dropped it. But before that, he found out he was getting sick. He said he couldn't do wrestling anymore. WrestleMania 3 and a few stuff after that, were towards till his body started breaking down. He wanted to hand the torch to Hulk Hogan because he knew Hulk Hogan would carry the industry. He did the match to hand the torch to Hogan he wants. He knew Hogan loved wrestling because he didn't like a lot of people he wrestled. He did not like, if you don't believe in wrestling, you don't do your thing right, he'll really hurt you. He hurt a lot of wrestlers that didn't respect him. But he knew
yeah,
Hogan did. And then after that, Bobby Heenan comes in and WrestleMania start. But Jesse Ventura was there too.
yeah,
Before the contract, before then a week later, Hogan accepted the challenge.
yeah, yeah.
And the
So
contract signed and all that at the Royal Rumble that year. The contract signed and everything else.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we get this big legendary segment between him and Andre the Giant.
Yep, so passing the
He
torch.
Hogan eventually does say, you know, all you had to do was just come to me for a championship match, and he would have been glad to give it to him. Things like that. He just tries to play the baby face for it the entire time, and um, Andre is playing all heel, not wanting any of it. Then we have the match itself. Um, you can access it on Peacock. You can access it on YouTube. Um, Anywhere that you get
I
WWE.
saw it weeks later. My uncle was taping and he forgot to call him, but he go down and watch it. So he gave it to my other uncle,
Yeah,
which went to his place and watch it.
yeah.
So
Um, there's
that's it.
documentaries all over on that match itself. Um, that's where you get the famous opening for WWE intros of Hulk Hogan slamming the Andre. Um, Everything else goes down there. Um, and years later, Hulk Hogan would say that, oh, well, we did not really have we had everything pinned down all the way up until the finish, and we didn't do anything with the finish until it actually happened. Um, and he would say that Andre the Giant was just coaching him on what to do with the finish. He did not, and Hogan would say he didn't know if he was going to win or lose that match or anything. He would be like, "What's going to happen? What's going to happen?"
Because he didn't know he was getting he didn't know that Andre was going to pass with the torch. That was the thing. Andre was
Yeah,
always private with what he wanted to do, and a lot of times his matches he wanted to do it on the fly. He wanted to
yeah,
see if these wrestlers can handle it.
yeah,
And like I said, if you didn't handle it, he didn't like you get the crack beaten out of you.
yeah, yeah,
As I
yeah.
said, he didn't like people that know how to wrestle.
Yeah, but as we said earlier, Andre and Hogan actually fought each other several years
Yep, back in the
prior,
70s.
so they actually knew each other very well.
Yeah,
They,
Hogan
they
was
knew
great.
each
He
other
was
in
great.
and out of the
Hogan,
ring.
Hogan didn't know how to wrestle back then, so Andre tried to help him.
Yeah,
And then when he couldn't do anything, Hogan just walked out. Because
yeah,
he didn't know how to wrestle much back about that
yeah,
in his earliest career.
yeah. So Hulk Hogan wins the match.
Right?
They make this into a big deal. Um, how many weeks or months later was it? Between then and their match on Saturday Night Main Event?
It
How
was like
long?
before SummerSlam. It was like about a month. What happened was they had the rematch, but everybody says, "Oh, the referee had plastic surgery." There's no plastic surgery. That's his twin brother. Everyone says, "Oh, still plastic surgery on the video." Says no. That is
Yeah,
That was Dave Hebner's twin brother
that
Earl. He was
was
working
his.
because he was working at NWA time. He lost his job. That's when I had the idea to do the referee
Yeah.
switches. No one knew.
Yeah.
A lot of people in WWE didn't know Dave had a brother.
Yeah.
Down south they did. Up north they didn't. So all the thing Hogan,
Yeah.
Yahtzee, then they had to go
There's.
through the. They had to go through after that. I think it was. Wait a minute. Yeah, it was 4 WrestleMania. Never mind. Yeah, it was 4 WrestleMania. It took about a year.
Okay.
Because
So
the WrestleMania 4 they had the title
the
tournament.
tournament. Yeah.
I had to remember.
Yeah.
I might get mixed up a little bit, but sometimes I'll overthink myself. And I'll think, wait a minute,
Yeah.
that's not that.
That's why I asked you the question.
That's WrestleMania. Saturday
Yeah.
Night's Main Event. I had to remember a little bit. So I
Yeah.
might be.
Yeah.
I'm still a little tired. I'm trying to wake up. I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember everything.
Yeah.
It was like month or two before WrestleMania, before they had the tournament at WrestleMania, which Brady Savage
Yeah.
won.
Yeah. So
Sorry, folks.
yeah. Now,
remember.
when I first met Ted DiBiase, that was one of the things that he actually talked about. Was that tournament and that match and other things. So yeah, we he did not really go into the backstage portion of that match
Yeah, because it's
where
private. Because they never had no one backstage. It was so private. So everyone has to believe the characters backstage.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
You don't know their
So
friends. You don't have to believe everything.
so did Hogan know at that time that um or Hebner had a twin brother?
It was all planned between Hogan,
Yeah.
DiBiase. It was all planned by Vince McMahon. Every time Vince McMahon says he gets all the people in there, sits them down. They really knew because because a lot of people wrestle this up. You also end up being,
Yeah.
you know, their twin brothers down there, Dave and Earl.
Yeah.
But Dave got called up and Earl was set down there. So now there's the referees. I don't think they weren't ready yet for twin brother referees.
Yeah.
So that's till that mess me. He says, "Oh, Earl Hebner's is going to work here, but it's going to be different referee. Is going to WIC is going to pay the guy and present surgery, make everybody believe it." Not 2 years later, everybody else realized that they were twin brothers.
Now,
but it's not Vince trying to sell stuff, trying to get more ratings, more money, so you keep going.
So this was when
I knew about it.
Yeah. So this happened right when Hogan lost the title, I believe, the first time, if I'm not mistaken.
That was the first time he did lose the title. It was taken because it goes wrong referee. Yeah, first time he lost the title. Yeah.
So
that's the first.
So the big question.
They're pushing more wrestlers because they trying to Hulk Hogan on time because of his injury. So they push Randy Savage and everybody else there to keep pushing going.
Yeah. So people would probably say, well, why did Hulk Hogan drop the title like that?
He had an injury.
He had an injury.
He got injured in the King Kong Bundy match, and he covered it up and didn't wrestle that much. Only did occasional appearances.
Yeah.
But he kept wrestling. Whether he thought it was fine, it got worse and worse. So
he
was pushing Randy Savage. He wanted to push Randy Savage at times. As Hogan says, he was a damn good wrestler because his wrestling lineage. You know, his father was a wrestler. He knew how to wrestle. So he wanted to push Randy Savage to be the champion. And Vince said, it's fine. It's a good idea. He got more popular. So they pushed him. Him and DiBiase set the match at the end of WrestleMania to push Randy Savage because those two have been big stars. Randy was just coming up. So they made him bigger star while Hogan was out with an injury.
Yeah. So
then Big Powers came on, and then their match at WrestleMania 5.
Another thing that you just missed out on is that when
I missed a few things.
Okay, so back. Let's rewind back to WrestleMania 3 when Hogan tried to pick up Andre the Giant the first time, and it failed, and he fell back, and he actually tore an abdomen muscle.
He was out for a while. He was out for a while for that.
Yeah.
As I said, he was filming a movie, which he wasn't. Everybody knew he was injured, so they kept the title on until Andre took it from him. At the time, he was a big boy there. He took time off, got the injury taken care of, and came back there.
Yeah. So needless to say, yes, the injuries were stacking up on Hogan to where he probably had to drop the title that way.
And then push more stars, basically.
Right.
Randy Savage got pushed. He had bits Randy Savage. Says this guy's push him.
Yeah.
He did, and then because he wanted to fight him later. So did Randy Savage. That's why he did all the Mega Power thing and all the setup for WrestleMania 5.
Yeah. So WrestleMania 4 comes up, and
Tournament.
um, Ted DiBiase talked about his WrestleMania 4 match against um, Randy Savage.
Yeah, the finals.
Yeah, the final match. And he was like, "Oh, I was going to win this match. I was going to win this match." He was very excited about it. And then, unbeknownst to him, Hogan came up and said, "No, we need to put the title on Randy." And that's when Vince McMahon said, "Okay, you go out there with the steel chair, get them distracted. Let's get the ref distracted. Let them know about the change up." And that's when he finds out that, oh, he's not winning the title.
Yeah. Yep.
Because he was like,
It's changed everything on the fly.
yeah. He was like, I was about to win it all the way up until Hogan came out with the chair.
Well, why he did that? Because at WrestleMania 3, that was not the biggest match people talk about. It was Randy and Steamboat, and Randy went right to the limit, and that's when Vince took notice of him.
Yeah.
And Hogan took notice of I went with Ricky Steamboat on and off. That's what
Exactly.
got him over with the fans, and Vince started cheering him a little bit. Said, boom, it was a great match. You know, we'll talk about the Andre match. I'm sorry, but they mostly talk about that match.
Yeah.
He's coming up.
Yeah.
Let's get Hogan.
Yeah. And then once Randy Savage wins the match,
right,
the tournament, Hogan has time to heal up. He comes back. They do the Mega Powers thing.
Yep, SummerSlam.
And then we'll start turning between Hogan, Randy, and Vince McMahon.
Hogan wanted to wrestle Randy later on when he was healed.
Yeah.
Because basically he was looking for the next title shot, but then he got injured, and that's when they did the angle.
Yeah. And that's when they said, he goes to Vince McMahon, and they said, hey, we need to have a match between Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan.
Took almost a year to build up, and everybody was talking about it.
Yeah. But they need to figure out a good story to do it.
That's what they did.
To build it up. And of course, they use Miss Elizabeth for it.
Yep.
Who was Randy Savage's actual wife at the time.
Yep. They're married.
So
people did not know that. I knew when I read one person if Ed magazine mentioned they were married in real life before.
Yeah. The bad thing is, with the build up to there was actual rumors about the affair between Hulk Hogan and Miss Elizabeth.
Wrong. It wasn't an affair. They were best friends, but he thought that Hogan was trying to talk Miss Elizabeth Hulk, and Linda talked to her to leave Randy Savage. It wasn't true. Randy was always paranoid. That's when he locked his wife in the when he's not out there, he locked his wife in the dressing room and no for nobody. When he became Hulk Hogan, he thought they were trying to take Elizabeth away from him, which they weren't.
No.
But Randy started getting pissed off in real life, and that's what started the feud. It was a real feud because no, Hogan did not have an affair with Elizabeth. Him and Linda, her and Linda were best friends, and they both lived in Florida. In the same complex. He thought Hogan never tried to take her away from him. That was the thing. Leave Randy Savage. So that's what ended up those two divorcing. Then we get back up together, and then we end up in WCW again, friends. So
yeah.
And he found Hogan told the truth, and he apologized to Hogan and became friends again. Then more stuff came out.
Yeah.
He never slept with Elizabeth. He never slept with her.
And that started off with, and that's how the famous Hogan Randy love-hate relationship happened. Overall. And
basically he not sleep with Elizabeth, he even admitted, and
and
he said he never
several different things happened.
He was never alone with her. His wife was with him in the locker room. That was it. He was never alone with her.
Yeah.
Only when they're on camera.
Yeah. And of course the hard rumors of that was how much of that of the issues were just real versus staged. No one knew.
The sleep thing was the idea for the wrestling, just for the angle. But in real life, they never did.
Yeah. So
just for the angle.
yeah, but even the wrestlers backstage were like, "Well, we don't really know."
Because a lot back then
Yeah,
didn't associate because of the good guy, bad guy thing. A lot of them
yeah,
didn't associate with each
yeah,
other 2 years later.
yeah,
That's when they got to know each other. But
yeah,
back then, that's how it was.
yeah, yeah.
And we do the whole
So
thing.
yeah, so then um, they do the match. Hogan wins.
Yep.
Um, Now, do you feel that that should have been the right call, given the story of what was going on?
Well, basically,
I
right
mean,
call or not, Hogan was the poster,
yeah,
not Randy. Hogan was the poster. They didn't give
yeah,
time of Hogan to probably ever be gone.
yeah, yeah.
So that's why they gave
So,
him that. And Randy's second prize was being Macho King.
yeah,
That put him over even more because
mm,
people liked the character, but when he was with Jim, he's fine. But then he's starting to go stale a little bit,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
why they gave him
yeah,
the title back to Hogan
true.
because Hogan just came back fresh, new, boom.
Yeah. So,
They wanted him to go at the big man like Earthquake and all that later
right.
on.
Yeah,
And I don't think Randy could handle it.
yeah.
That's the thing.
So,
Plus, he was not in good graces with McMahon at the time. They were starting to fight,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. And
Okay, next.
so then they build up to WrestleMania 6. Um, the way that they built it up was, I believe that there was the moment in the Royal Rumble, where it was between left off between Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. They do a double clothesline, and they see the crowd reactions, and they see basically the same thing that they saw with Randy Savage. Hey, this guy's getting the big momentum here. He's Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
Let's have a unification match.
Rob, that is not how it went. If you watch the videos about Warrior, at the time, Warrior didn't care about the industry. He only
Yeah,
cared about winning and money. What happened was he wasn't listening to anybody, Hogan or Vince. So what was supposed not a unification match. It was for the title wasn't unification. Because one tells how to be if Hogan won the Intercontinental title, he had to drop the Intercontinental title. If Warrior won world champ, he had to drop the Intercontinental world champion. But Warrior won world championship, he had to drop the Intercontinental title. He did it because he's having a fit. He wasn't in the push like Hogan was because he's a muscle up guy. He admitted in his own video that his mind got the best of him and wasn't listening to anybody. So what happened was backstage betrayal and something. Hogan didn't want to work with him, but they did the Royal Rumble thing when Hogan was fighting. I don't know if he was fighting when the
yeah,
dumped both on top rope to start it. Hogan didn't like it because Roy wasn't professional at the time, but anybody he didn't care. So
yeah,
Vince said, "Let him have the title. Hogan take a rest, do his movies and TV shows he's planning on doing." So
yeah,
Vince said, "Drop to him." He didn't do. He wasn't that crazy at heavyweight title. He was doing great when he was heavyweight title. He wasn't great at it. A lot of people didn't like that because he was unprofessional. Plus, matches are too quick.
yeah.
That's the
So,
thing.
so
Their
they
counter
give
title's
him,
fine, but the world title didn't like
yeah,
him being that.
yeah. So Hogan drops the title to Ultimate Warrior.
To do his films and stuff,
Yeah,
things going,
yeah,
take time off.
yeah. And then eventually, Sergeant Slaughter gets the title.
Yeah, because
Um,
that's like his Warrior stopped making appearances,
yeah,
and
and
then he got fired. Then he got fired after that. So
yeah, Sergeant Slaughter gets aligned with the Iron Sheik.
and a KC
Right.
because he was man. When he I don't know who and then he was a manager in the AWA at the time.
Yeah,
Managing a lot of bad guys.
yeah,
He was also a
yeah,
famed professional wrestler.
yeah.
After the Sheik,
So
he came in after the Sheik came in. Iron Sheik came in.
yeah, so they do that, and they do that angle, and then they bring back Hogan for WrestleMania 7. Yeah, WrestleMania 7.
Yep.
Um,
Her
and
father.
they have what me and a lot of people would say would be um, not the worst main event WrestleMania main event match, but a pretty bad match
Everything kept
overall.
falling. Everything kept falling apart. They wanted to do what
Yeah,
they did, but everybody, they kept messing up
yeah. Things just did not go well with it.
because they're both nervous. They
Yeah,
haven't felt Hazard hasn't felt that big a crowd like
yeah,
Hogan did. He was kind of nervous. That's why kept slipping up. Hogan tried to keep carrying, but they both kept moving up. They didn't know what to do next.
yeah.
They were lives, so they tried to do the
So
best they can for that match.
yeah, and of course Hogan wins. Um, I'm not sure on how far after that Sergeant Slaughter had stopped that gimmick.
SummerSlam. Because that's
SummerSlam.
when Jim Cornette started coming in that summer. He was the photographer that burned Hogan for that
Yeah,
camera. Because Jim Cornette came in during that summer and sided with Slaughter stuff before they were ending that
yeah,
angle at the time. Because
yeah,
they decided to
yeah,
first start because they wanted him to go over Yokozuna and get Yokozuna pushed when he
yeah.
first
The
came in
the bad thing about
after that. So
that angle
that wasn't that
or
good
that
anyway.
gimmick with Sergeant Slaughter, it did not fit him very well at all.
Nope. And then he left and then decided to come back. Everybody wanted him back.
Yeah, yeah,
They wanted to try Slaughter as a bad guy. Because back then, he was a bad guy. No one knew he was a bad guy because Graham Wizard was matching. He was a bad guy back then.
yeah,
Because he kept saying this, what he's been saying all years. And basically, he said he was a real military person. He was not a military person. That was a character. He was
yeah.
never in the military.
Never
Everyone
in.
said he was never in the military. It was an angle.
Yeah,
That's why I got pissed off when a real military person wanted to do the full clutch. He wouldn't let him.
yeah,
Come on, it's an army maneuver.
yeah,
He doesn't own it.
yeah.
Let's get back to that Hogan now. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
making few
So,
commentary marks about what I feel about
so,
things. Sorry about that, folks.
yeah,
I'll go off the line a
yeah.
little bit.
So then we fast forward there. Um, WrestleMania, I think it's WrestleMania 8.
Yeah, we're on to 8 now.
Okay, so WrestleMania 8.
A lot of changes.
Yeah, yeah. So people are probably wondering why are we going through the WrestleManias with Hulk Hogan and not with the SummerSlams and other things
Well,
because
because the WrestleMania was the biggest thing
the
ever. It was the
yeah,
granddad. It
yeah,
was all. They
those
all
are the biggest things and highlights throughout the entire 80s and early
Hogan did
90s
a
with
lot of Summer Slams. He did early on. He did a lot of Summer Slams and Survivor
I mean,
Series,
yeah,
Royal
he
Rumble.
did a
But
lot
that's
of
the time that
those.
his popularity started going because
Yeah,
everything was changing.
yeah.
That's when
So
it started
yeah,
going down. I wasn't
he,
in many
he
matches.
he did do a lot of big matches. He did the occasional
Tag team,
matches,
tag
dark
team match at WrestleMania
matches.
8. If I remember, it was the tag team match at WrestleMania 8 or 7. I think one of them had a big tag team match.
I
Hogan
think
was in it.
WrestleMania 8
Yeah, I think that was
was
with DiBiase and IRS.
no.
That's him, and I think it was, I don't know if it was Warrior or not. I forgot who tagged with him. No, it wasn't Savage. Savage was up already doing his own thing.
I don't
So.
think he. I think the only tag team match he did at WrestleMania was in WrestleMania 1.
He did tag team match in one WrestleMania. I know that because DiBiase and IRS were being top heels with Sherry.
Yeah,
I think that was the one with the Caesar Palace thing, and then he came back out and won the title again after Bret Hart lost to Yokozuna. That was the year Yokozuna came in, late '80s. He started coming in after the AWA was starting to fall downhill. The '88 or '89 he came in. Now his time is Hogan won the title match. He was there at WrestleMania after a tag team match.
yeah.
It was either 8 or 9. One of those. It was a WrestleMania match. He was there as I watched it.
I'm pulling up the events right now.
8 or 9 has to be one of the things. They were at Caesar's Palace at the time before they went down.
WrestleMania 9 was at Caesar's Palace.
That's okay. I jumped too
Okay,
soon.
so
I forgot we did 8.
WrestleMania
No,
8.
no, 9 he did tag team.
Yeah, so WrestleMania 8, we have the main event between Hulk Hogan and Sid Justice.
That's it. That's what I was missing. Because after the Royal
So,
Rumble thing.
yeah, yeah. So there's some background to this. So originally, this was back when Ric Flair came into the WWE
Yeah,
the
and that's
first
when he
time,
won the title. That's when he won the title.
and he won the title. And
He's still popular. Now Hogan
yeah,
started to come
so
down. But,
the original match idea was it was supposed to be between the main event was supposed to be between Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan.
right.
That was going to be the big seller. Anyone in the NWA, AWA, you know, would see that Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair would be the biggest match in WWE history.
Right.
Um, Everyone would be able to see it that they were the two biggest guys in the 80s, pretty much.
Right.
So you see these two coming up, and they do a few dark matches, and they say, well, these dark matches are not living up to what what Vince was expecting. It was
Right.
still good and things, but it wasn't living up to WrestleMania main event um,
No,
at all.
they're getting older.
Yeah.
They're younger
So
than what time, but they're getting older.
yeah,
So
if it was like 2 years prior, maybe
it would have been a good match. Good
would have
match.
been a good match. But they said, we gotta switch it up. So they give um, Ric Flair to Randy Savage
Right.
and um, Hulk Hogan to Sid Justice.
For revenge
Uh,
match for Royal Rumble.
yeah, yeah,
Anyone know who the Justice is? He is known as Sid Vicious. They just changed his last name.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of people don't understand
He's
that.
not
Vince didn't want to keep the same name of the same person. Only a few key people.
Psycho Sid
Before the
would,
cycle later on.
yeah, yeah.
He knows
He
it at the time.
he's a good wrestler, good legend, but bad on the mic.
Yeah.
That's the best way that
That
we
didn't
can
talk
say it.
that much at the beginning till Vince started forcing him.
Yeah,
He didn't want to talk at all to the mic. He wanted to stay right in the background. And he said that
yeah,
Vince kind of forced him, that everyone started forcing him. He says that he's never got on the mic.
yeah,
Not until later on after his injury, and he used to come in and just talk to people regular. But
yeah,
his character, you see, he did not do good at all. He even said himself he's not that great.
yeah, yeah,
Better wrestler than. Well, he was a good wrestler, but he didn't have the fundamentals. He was just doing as a brawler. Basically, it's all he was running as a brawler. He didn't do a lot of wrestling maneuvers. He just brawled a lot. So, what's going on? You petting your kitty?
No, no, I'm
Okay.
just
I'm
pulling
petting your
up
kitty.
the
You're trying.
information here.
I
So
thought you could pet kitty against
no,
kitty on TV.
no. Let's see here.
Yeah, keep looking up.
So
Like, in fact, I'll straighten
then
them
we
up.
get um. So then after that, um, not much really happened with Hogan in between the WrestleManias. He's doing TV
Separate tag,
shows.
separate tag team match in 9. I
Yeah,
think that was his last
yeah,
one.
yeah.
And then he's
So
supposed to
his
retire.
momentum with WWE starting to sour.
Yeah, everything's
He's
changing
getting
now. Go all the new
frustrated with
music, and
uh,
younger guys are
the,
hungrier, and
yeah.
just concentrating on
Some
that.
would say
So,
that he was getting frustrated. Some would say that he's just getting burnt out with
mm-hmm,
WWE at this time.
mm-hmm.
So he takes a small hiatus, does a tag team match at WrestleMania 9, and then he comes back out in the main event with a black eye, and he wins the title from Yokozuna.
He got the black guy. He got punched. I forgot who punched him. Either
Randy Savage.
DRC or RS hit him so hard, that's how he got the black eye.
Yeah, yeah. So
It was Hogan and Beefcake
yeah,
with the mask on.
yeah. So
That's what
the
I
the
remember that stuff.
the trouble issue was he says it was a jet ski accident. The issue that we have with that was that there was a match that he was in prior 6 matches into the event, and then he comes up in the main event, and he has a black eye very visibly shown.
Yeah, if it gets an accent like that, it takes a while for our eye to go black.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
So
his eye was bloodshot,
yeah,
basically.
no one really noticed. The issue is that no one really noticed in his actual match,
Yeah,
tag team
because he
match.
had like a few hours prior to it. It
Yeah,
takes a while for the black eye and the blood to go through.
yeah, yeah. Even though that match was about 15, 16 minutes, um, no one really noticed it because it's a tag team match, and you know you're going from
Not
corner.
so much. It was
Yeah,
very lightly shown. You lightly
yeah,
see it, but it wasn't that dark yet.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
until he comes
So
back.
yeah, so then when he wins it, they give him an actual close up, and he has the black eye. So that's when they have it, and that's one of the thumbnails of the worst WrestleManias. So let's move on to
We're in the middle of that interview segment
yeah,
before
yeah, the
where he
interview
tells Spark
segment
Man over
between
to
him and
Andy and
Vince
crap out
McMahon.
of it. Those two
Um,
are crappy movies. And then
yeah,
I was going into the Mickey Mouse movie when he made an appearance in there.
yeah,
So that's
Mr.
something to watch.
Nanny and
The earlier two.
Suburban Commando,
Command both sucked.
all these bad movies and things.
And TV movies and Three Ninjas, they all
Yeah,
suck. I'm sorry.
yeah,
He's not an actor.
yeah, yeah.
But the
So
TV series was carried because the actors carried them.
yeah, yeah.
That's why the
So
series was popular.
yeah, so that's what went on with Hogan in WWE. Um, then about a year, 6 months to a year later, he drops the biggest bombshell.
Let me think. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was a year and a half because this is
Okay,
going to the second season of Thunder in Paradise.
yeah, yeah.
Bishop found out
He decides to come back to wrestling,
Yeah,
but
Bishop talked to him.
yeah,
Bishop talked to him. He found out doing the filming there at the Disney Studios. So.
yeah, but he doesn't join WWE. He joins WCW,
Right.
and
It's right near Steve. Still in the middle of TV series. He wanted to go too far away.
yeah,
Filming it. He was
yeah,
in the middle of filming the second season.
yeah.
That's when it happened
So
during the filming.
he joins WCW, puts them pretty much on the map at that point, brings all these guys from WWE.
Not yet. They tried to rekindle the feud with him and Ric Flair because he's still red and yellow for the first 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Before the NWO. Everybody keeps forgetting
Yeah.
he was a
We're
good
not talking about
guy.
NWO yet.
But you say brought wrestlers
So
in. He did bring wrestling until the NWO.
okay.
But
So
Eric Bischoff brought those wrestlers in before Hogan did. Everybody else was in retirement and wanted to come back. Because
yeah,
Bischoff wanted some people
Yeah.
to come back, not every come
Yeah.
back into wrestling.
Yeah.
Trying to get ratings. Because that time wasn't doing too good. And he
Yeah.
took over.
Yeah. So so the
Now
most
came on their own.
so before the NWO thing,
Mhm. Yep.
He was in some big storylines.
Mostly him and Ric Flair. And then the Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah.
Now, when Bruce turned against them, man. I forget
there's something I want to talk about with Dungeon of Doom. Okay.
Joe Sullivan's crew.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Dungeon of Doom is
that was the introduction of Paul Wright the Giant. Big Show.
Right. No, it wasn't Dungeon of Doom. That was after Dungeon of Doom before the NWO.
Yeah.
Because he didn't come into because after Dungeon of Doom, Angle went through for a year. They brought this guy in and tried to claim he's the son of Andre John, which he wasn't. And that's what started brewing and brewing and brewing, started coming. He's getting popular. Hogan's starting to get booed.
Yeah.
They like the guy. They like Paul White. He doesn't look for a wrestler. They just a few weeks in proper and throw him in there. They didn't even train the guy right. That's why he had to get retrained later on in his career.
Yeah.
Because Bush was a big guy and stupid. But that was a good angle to give him going.
Moving on here. So WCW gets this big following. Then the contracts of Scott Hall and Kevin Nash happen.
And that
at
stuff got him. First Scott
um,
Hall, then
Eric
Kevin Nash
Eric
later.
Bischoff snaps him.
Well,
Um,
here's the thing about that. Kevin Nash's career was basically he was having trouble with WWE at the time because he had a little drinky thing,
yeah,
and they weren't getting along. That's why they didn't renew his contract. Kevin Nash was supposed to renew his contract the day after the pay per view. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm staying with you, Vince." And a few hours later, he says, "I'm going to WCW."
yeah,
The day after the pay per view, he appears in WCW Scott Hall
yeah,
on Monday Nitro.
yeah.
That was one of the big
They
surprises.
do the
He had a
big
lot of big
shock,
surprises back then.
and everyone's wondering what's going on here. Is WWE invading WCW at this point?
WCW was challenging WWE. He wanted to
Yeah,
go head to head with them. That's when
yeah,
Nitro started.
yeah.
And that's when
So
he started doing the things he did.
yeah.
Destroy those WWE.
So after that, they start advertising the third man. And
It was planned to be Sting at first.
it was originally planned to be Sting.
Sting didn't want to do it because he's too popular.
Well, there's some truth in false to that.
He was hesitant on doing it. He didn't really want to do it because before Hogan decided he did this, but before first found out that Hogan was a bad guy way back when, he forgot about it. He saw a videotape one day on WWE Network of one of the older wrestling shows and saw Hogan as a bad guy. And says, "Wait a minute, Hogan be a better bad guy than good guy." And that's when Sting and him talked to Hogan. He said it'd be a better idea if he did. He said, "That's fine with me."
There's mixed origins of
because that's really what happened. Sting didn't really want to do it because he was so popular. But when he found out Hogan was a bad guy, he said Hogan do it. Hogan wanted to do it. He wanted to change his image.
Supposedly Hogan had actually volunteered to do it.
After Sting was hesitant on doing it. He didn't really want to do it.
So they do the Bash at the Beach moment. They're going to bring out the guys. And at the last minute, they say, well, we're going to do it with Hulk Hogan.
Hogan just arrived at the airport in the arena 5 minutes prior to entering the arena. He just showed up. He had a thing he had to do before that.
Yeah.
They didn't know it was good. If the match was not supposed to be that long, but since Hogan's plane didn't land yet, they had to make it a little longer of a match.
Yeah. So
that's why it extended so far until Hogan finally came in, and that's when it started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Hogan's plane was being delayed a lot, and he couldn't get there on time. So they had to figure out what they had to do. And then if Hogan didn't make it, Sting was going to be it, but Hogan made it.
And Hogan just dropped the biggest leg drop of his career.
He wanted to change his image, basically, because Biden's aren't doing it anymore.
Yeah. Now, when you first saw that, were you expecting him to do that?
Basically, like I said, the internet wasn't that great back then because it wasn't like it is now. Everybody was always still private. There was still private there, too, because they didn't start showing stuff behind the scenes like during the Attitude Era. This is before the Attitude Era started. And NWO didn't show much then. Nobody knew except for people backstage. That's what Hogan and Sting both said. And then Bishop, nobody knew. Not even the wrestlers knew about it.
Yeah.
That's why it was such a big shock to everybody. When he did that, I was shocked as hell. Because he wanted the shock factor. It's why he kept doing what he doing to get more shocks to beat WWE to the ground.
Yeah.
And then Vince started doing his shock value.
So with this
ECW started this trend changing. Both WWE and WCW took a look at it. If they're changing with the times, and they're raising well, let's change with the times too. That's what inspired Bischoff to have NWO, and ECW inspired Vince McMahon to have the Attitude Era because they were doing it already.
Yeah,
that's where they took it from. A lot of people don't know that, but ECW originally did that long before those two did.
Yeah. So did you see that match live, or did you?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I have to remember if I was working that night or not. No, I was on vacation. I saw it live. I was on vacation that week when it was on. I took a vacation from work on Sunday night, and I saw it live.
Okay. So when he came out, were you expecting him to be the third man, or were you expecting?
No, they kept it all quiet. It's like back then, the internet didn't have much like it did now.
I'm asking about your reaction to it.
As I say, I was shocked like everybody else was. Like I said, there was no internet or nothing.
Yeah.
No one knew about it. That's what shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it. Well, he's a few weeks later, the NWA started becoming more popular. I thought
Yeah.
I said, well, maybe he wanted to change.
Yeah.
It found a few weeks, about a few months later, when NWA was getting more popular. Basically,
Yeah.
I remember Hogan being a bad guy.
Yeah.
Then I said, well, maybe this would be a good change for him. It did
Yeah.
good.
He
Changed a
did.
lot of wrestlers.
He did great.
A lot of
Um.
wrestlers'
Yeah.
careers because of it.
And that's when we start
Yeah.
seeing all these other people going into the NWO,
Yeah.
and then you start seeing too many cooks with NWO.
Well,
Uh,
what happened was they're all protecting Hulk Hogan from the
yeah.
title. But then when Sting turned it, because they thought Sting joined it at first, but was turned out it was another person being Sting, an indie wrestler, not
Yeah.
mentioned for the thing. But when he saw the Sting, I thought Sting decided he wanted to change first. So he did that angle where he's supposed to join NWO and did the Crow because he loved the movie The Crow. Decided to do something like that. So what he did, he tricked the NWO for a few weeks,
Yeah.
imitated him, and started destroying them. And then the Crow Seekers come on, and everybody was afraid. Hogan was afraid because it was supposed to be, oh, he's an indie hero, it's not WCW or WE. I mean WCW or NWO. He was in between for like a
Yeah.
year before he started going showing WCW. You gotta fight fire with fire. He kept a
Yeah.
baseball bat, hit me, they wouldn't hit him.
Yeah.
That's when he started. That's
So
when he started getting the wrestlers like DDP and all them in the fold, so you can get all of them together, and that's what kept
yeah.
lasted so long. But then it started getting stale after a while because some younger wrestlers left because they're getting
Yeah.
put in the back line. That's when it shifted. The younger wrestlers were taking over WE, and that's when NWA started going downhill. That's when Bishop was gone, and they brought Russo in, and
Yeah.
that fell apart.
Yeah.
That's what the
So
beginning end of the WCW. Because
yeah.
Austin was there, and the only thing they had was Goldberg, but he wasn't trained wrestler, not
No,
that
he
well.
wasn't.
All he did was he was just there for the try to be like another
Yeah.
or Steve
So
Austin. He said he wasn't trained that good. He didn't know why he was pushed that fast.
yeah. So there's a few key matches with him in NWO that were um, really big main event matches. One
Yep.
was between him and Sting. I believe that was on Monday Nitro.
Yeah, that was like after it was like before they decided to put the fake Sting in NWO.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that 2 weeks later, was supposed to be a tag match. He did a few hits, and
Yeah.
then told Pants to stick it a week later, and then
Yeah.
the Crow started
Yeah.
coming out, and
Yeah.
everybody's, well,
And
what's Sting
then
doing? And then he started. Then they found out what he was doing, and that's why he got his popularity so high.
yeah.
His career's getting stale. You
So
know, they try something more darker
well,
reality.
there was also Hogan versus Crow Sting too at one time. At one
What?
point in time,
That's who?
the
Okay,
Crow
hear you.
Sting.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's when he went against Sting before.
Yeah.
Later on, towards the end, and the BO would Sting faced him later
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
As I said, his
And
career started to get stale. He
yeah.
he wanted it that way just to
Yeah.
get the angle of the Crow.
Now,
There he planned it. We planned it weeks before
yeah.
the Hogan Sting thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Now
planned it.
there.
They loved it.
Yeah.
Bishop loved the idea. So
Yeah. Now there is something off topic here regarding Sting, and that
okay.
is what was the origin of the Wolfpack Sting?
Well, they was getting stale, and Eric wanted to split in 2 packs
Yeah.
because NWO was starting to go downhill, and Vince was starting to get higher because of the younger talent he was getting from WCW never used, and took stuff from ECW and basically all around the world getting younger guys in to make it fresh. And
Yeah.
basically, and some wrestlers that were had in there, and they made them big stars. And basically, they tried to do 2 NWOs, but try to keep NWO going.
Yeah.
But then it failed, and that's when they came back together, and a finger point of doom
Yeah.
came that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
what put them back together, but it was too little, too late,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
everybody tried to figure everything out,
The
and
other
started going down. And
yeah, the other big match.
The management WCW of
Yeah.
Turner Sports were starting to say, we don't need this
We
anymore. And then when Time Warner came in, that's when it
yeah.
happened.
Now we've already talked about the finger poke of doom before.
No, we didn't. We didn't talk about that yet.
I had to do it myself, so yeah.
Yeah, I didn't talk about
yeah,
that yet.
yeah.
That was when they
You
tried to
were
move back and
you
bring it
were
together.
off. You had something else going on that week. I had to do it myself, so I had to do the finger poke of doom. You can look at that episode.
That was episode you were on, yeah.
Yeah,
Now let's talk about
yeah,
this episode.
yeah,
I'm saying
yeah,
that's how the NWO got back together, and
yeah,
that's what started going
yeah,
downhill.
yeah.
Even more.
So, but before that, there was also the match between him and Goldberg being a classic match, and
On
he
TV.
puts
They should have put that on pay-per-view instead of TV. That was a
yeah
big stupid thing they did.
yeah. So they
Even the
put
backstage
Goldberg
should put on
over
pay-per-view.
there.
But
Um,
basically, Hogan was going to take time off again for a
yeah
little bit. But he was talking, but wasn't wrestling. As a rumor had, he had another injury. It was a minor injury though.
yeah
Now he got titled back after that with the Miss Elizabeth BS.
yeah yeah. Then
That was stupid.
yeah. Then after the finger poke of doom, things started going downhill.
Even more. Even more.
Bash at the Beach 2001 happened. Was it 2000
Well,
2001?
yeah, before the WWE bought him. I think it
Yeah,
was
yeah. So
the
it
Bash
had
at Peak.
been,
Bash at Peak, I think, was the last pay-per-view before they sold it.
yeah, yeah. So Bash at the Beach happens where um, Jeff Jarrett just lays it out for Hulk Hogan, gets a pinfall, 1, 2, 3, gets the top back, and he just goes on a promo rage saying that this is why the company's going under.
Time Warner already
Yeah,
bought him at the time. That
yeah,
was the reason.
yeah,
They wanted to get rid of the wrestling, so they pissed the wrestlers off. That's why they
yeah,
left.
yeah,
That's why Hogan left because he knew suits were going to do stuff about it.
yeah. Dark
But they
Side,
couldn't do nothing. But they couldn't do nothing with WWE because they were independent promotion. They're
yeah,
owned by Vince McMahon. He
yeah,
had no network affiliation.
yeah. Dark Side of the Ring went on to talk about what happened there.
Right.
So there's not really much else that we would be able to say.
No, that's the suits
Um,
behind AOL Time Warner merger. That's what
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
They,
Everyone was pissed off about what happened. The
that's what
wrestlers
happened.
were pissed off. Everyone backstage was pissed
Yeah,
off.
that's when they had the final Nitro.
Yeah,
Then there's a setup for the invasion angle
yeah,
between Shaw.
and
A lot of the wrestlers didn't go there. Even
yeah,
Sting didn't go there because Sting didn't like what they were doing because he turned even Born Christian like the time with sexually and stuff. He didn't want to be part of it at the time. That's why he went to TNA.
yeah.
Wow.
So,
And he
so
stopped
then,
and he came back.
yeah. So then we go on to the to WWE buying WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he takes some time off.
Hogan was not there for a few years.
Yeah, he takes some time off there
Got your
to
time off.
let
So he had a long
his
time before he came back.
let his
Came back.
contract do its thing. He comes
That
back.
night that he walked out was the last day of his contract.
Yeah,
That's why he left. He didn't want to
yeah,
sign it anymore because he got sick of it.
yeah.
So he dropped the title.
Yeah.
Well, the title with him, but he eventually returned it.
Then when he comes to WWE, um, they do they put him in the match with The Rock.
You got something before that. A year prior, Vince decided to bring the NWO back.
Yeah,
That was
the
before.
NWO does come back.
I remember he
He
came
comes
back
back with the NWO, does their thing.
To go against
With,
Austin. That's what they were hired for, to get rid of Austin. And The Rock
yeah,
got involved
yeah,
after that.
yeah,
Then it was the match set up with Hogan
and The Rock.
You got to remember he was anyways who you hired to go against Austin.
Yeah, and then after that,
Yellow and Red came back. He left the
you get the big match between Rock versus Hogan.
Day before they wanted him back in black and yellow.
And then and I believe Austin won that match first.
Yeah, he won against Scott Hall because Kevin Nash tried to interfere and it failed.
Yeah.
So he beat Scott Hall.
Yeah.
That was the match.
Yeah. So
I don't know if it was a handicap match or not. I don't remember, but I know he beat Scott Hall in the middle of the ring.
Hogan and Austin never had their one-on-one match. They had a tag team match the week prior.
Austin's knees were getting him real bad.
Yeah.
And he started wrestling less and less.
Yeah.
Because his knees were getting so bad. And they wanted to face it, but Austin wasn't 100% himself. That's the reason Hogan didn't want to do it. He didn't want to injure him.
Yeah.
Even more. They
Yeah.
wanted to fight, but because of so much injuries in Austin's career,
Nothing that they
you
could
didn't want
do.
anyway. You didn't want to injure him again.
Yeah.
That was the reason. So that's what he
Yeah.
did, the shouting matches instead.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
that's the only thing
So
they're gonna get out of Austin and Hogan.
yeah.
But The Rock was getting more
Yeah.
popular, and most of his career started to go down. Then that's how he put them together.
And
After Hogan.
after that match, eventually Hogan goes back to the yellow and red.
Because during the match, they
Yeah.
kept saying with each other because everybody knew Hogan was the yellow red,
Yeah.
and everybody was died, and they didn't want him that anymore. So that's
Yeah.
fans changed him
Yeah.
after the match.
And
They didn't know who to
he
root. They didn't know who to root for because it was
yeah.
such a good match. They didn't know who to root for.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
root
Yeah. And he eventually has a SummerSlam match with Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels oversells everything, tries to do everything his own way, frustrates Hogan
and
on it.
yeah, because he's making his comeback after his injury, his back injury, and the substance abuse he went through.
Yeah, yeah,
He
pretty
came
much.
back, and
So, um, and then he has a feud with Vince McMahon.
yes,
And
Piper got involved and everything else. Yep.
yeah, and he does his Mr. American gimmick, um, which
Tried to
I just
resell stuff
recently.
again, but everybody knew it was him, and it failed.
Everyone knew it was him.
They tried to invent him.
They
That's
did
why.
the lie detector test.
Yeah, yeah, and then it was fake test, fake test.
Yeah, I mean that would I just saw that like 30 minutes before you messaged me saying that you were ready.
Well,
Uh,
basically, the reason why he did that, they're trying to get another wrestler, and the rest of his Hogan was helping, and that was Zach McGowan, which the leg got torn off in the ring after they pulled him out.
yeah,
They're trying to get him because he's become a really popular wrestler, one-leg wrestler. Vince wanted to showcase him, but he didn't know how. So Hogan became Mr. America and they pushed for him. That was one of the
yeah,
reasons. The other reason is he wanted to try something else too. So that
yeah,
didn't work.
yeah,
Only worked for like about I think a year, and then went back. Then he left that.
yeah.
He
Other
left wrestling
notable few,
again.
other notable matches that he had on that run was him versus Vince McMahon, him versus Randy Orton, and him versus the Undertaker. Him and
And
Undertaker actually.
don't forget, what's his name? That helped pull the leg off in the ring. What the hell's that guy's name? Chuck, I think. Yeah, Paloma. He went against Paloma in a tag team match with
Yeah,
Gowan one night.
yeah.
Don't forget that
So
match. He's trying to push him too, but a lot of things happened to him.
nothing came out of
Nothing
it.
came out of it because, yeah, well, Gowan, yes, because he had the feud with Vince McMahon
Yeah.
right after that.
So the thing what we forgot to mention was
Yeah,
his
we'll forget
feud
things.
with the Undertaker.
Yes.
Um, because he actually faced the Undertaker earlier on in
Yeah,
his.
the Tuesday in Texas, and then
See,
they put it on TV
yeah,
after that.
yeah. There was a big controversy there.
They put it a week after. They put it on TV. I think a couple of days, or probably on Monday Night Raw or whatever, or Primetime Wrestling at the time. They
Yeah,
tried to televise it, and basically it was a bad match to begin with because Roderick was still green at the time. He was still learning.
yeah,
But then when the next match came on, he started listening to Hogan a little bit, telling him what he's doing wrong to improve his career because basically he had the wrong talk with Vince, and he helped Undertaker start becoming a bigger star. That's what Hogan was getting popular, and Hogan wanted to help him, but at the time he didn't listen to Hogan. That's why they brought Flair out to make Undertaker win the belt.
yeah,
Because that's what it's supposed to be. But then they had a talk, and the next match he started talking to Undertaker, telling him this and that, and he actually listened to him this time. He's trying to help him.
yeah,
And it's when he started listening to people after he did Hulk Hogan. Then he went to everybody else, started listening to them. And that's when he learned of careers of professional wrestling.
yeah,
Really mentions it, but it was Hogan that helped his career
yeah,
get popular when he won against him the second time and dropped the title.
yeah,
Flair was just brought in because it was a bad match to begin with, and then
yeah,
the next match it got better, and then
yeah,
brought him in
yeah,
again this time.
yeah.
Hit the Undertaker with a chair.
So then
Like
years
Lenny started.
later, then years later we have Undertaker versus Hogan again
got a
as
better
the
match.
American
He was more
Badass.
seasoned. He was more seasoned, and he wanted to go against him again
Yeah,
later on. He was more seasoned. He wanted to do a great match
yeah,
out of it
yeah,
towards the end of his career.
yeah. And then we get the segment where Undertaker hot ties Hogan to his motorcycle and runs through the arena with
Yep,
it.
yep. That was a
And
planned segment. That was a
yeah,
planned segment to get their rivalry kicked
clearly
off.
a planned segment there, especially when you see um, Hogan crashing into the empty boxes. He clearly rolls into them and things off of
Well,
his.
basically, he turned too quick, and that's when he hit the box. He wasn't supposed to hit anything, but he turned too quick.
Yeah,
He's so excited about the angle. He turned too quick and he hit the boxes. Luckily, there was
yeah,
nothing in him, but clothing.
yeah, yeah.
He
So
apologized afterwards, but he said, "Hey, it's part of the gig."
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
what the funny segment was because that was not planned.
okay.
That's why it was so funny.
Yeah,
That was
they
not planned.
didn't. They don't really go into that portion there on if
Nah,
it's.
no,
Yeah,
he didn't talk
yeah.
to that much. He always
No,
talked about the
no.
Tuesday in Texas thing. See, that was more of a better angle than the current one he did.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why he talked about the first time faced Undertaker first. That's the only time he talks about Undertaker.
yeah. So then, um, eventually, he leaves WWE. Gets in. He gets inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2005. Um, Eventually, his contract runs out with WWE. Later on, he joins TNA. Try to reform. Um,
But there's one thing you didn't know before he joined TNA, and it's on one of his DVDs. Him and Jimmy Hart ran a wrestling show in Florida. He was not wrestling before he was in TNA for a year to try to get new wrestlers trained. I think it's HWA or something like that. It's on his second video with some matches on it. Him
yeah,
and Jimmy Hart try to start a local organization, train more wrestlers.
yeah,
But that didn't go to like 1 or 2 years, and then he joined TNA after that.
yeah.
That venture
So
failed. That's
and
what he joined TNA
also
after.
in
Wasn't
between,
directly. Wasn't directly because TNA was
yeah,
still doing the Jarrett thing and all that
yeah,
before Bishop and him got into
yeah.
it.
So in between there, he also did Hogan Knows Best. Uh,
Yep, during that time. Yep,
yeah, during that
VH1.
time there was Hogan Knows Best,
Yep,
and
I
then
saw
he joins TNA.
it. A lot was not real. A lot was staged,
Yeah,
basically. A lot
yeah.
was,
No,
it wasn't really
no, no
reality. So
one,
some was
no one
staged.
really talks about that.
Some was staged
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
knew it wasn't
The,
really reality shows. A lot of
yeah.
it was staged, and only
That
wanted to
that
show his
was
real self to everybody.
yeah, that was going alongside with the Osbournes.
Yep,
Um,
the Osbournes were real, but
yeah,
Hogan didn't want to be that reality, so he tried to stage a few things.
yeah, yeah,
A lot of it wasn't
yeah.
real. Even
So
the famous stuff wasn't
yeah,
real.
there's another parallel with Ozzy and Hogan is that they both did their shows at around the same time too.
Ozzy's
Um,
was more popular
yeah,
because it
yeah,
was more reality, and everybody already seen through Hogan when he did
yeah,
his family.
yeah. And I think
No
that
one
they
really knows
both
that
did
now.
it on the same network too.
No,
No,
MTV had the Osbournes. VH1 had Hogan.
okay,
There's only like 2 seasons in it because they couldn't get the ratings. They just dropped Hogan because
yeah,
Osbourne was kicking everybody's ass at the time.
yeah,
In all reality.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it was
Then,
VH1 who had Hogan's Knows Best because they had a contract with Ozzy that no one else could do a reality show against him. So they did it on VH1 instead.
yeah,
Not on the same night, but
yeah, yeah.
it was
Then,
VH1 who had it. Didn't last very long.
yeah. Then he goes on to TNA.
Yep.
Um,
And that was Team Impact after that,
yeah,
after TNA.
yeah.
Yep.
Stays there for a few years. Tries to go up against WWE. That fails out.
Bishop, it was Bishop's idea. That TNA Impact did not want to do it because
Yeah,
the Anthem started owning it. They didn't want to do it, but he wanted to try it. It failed,
failed.
nearly killed Impact. That's when they had Wayne firing Bishop. That's why they had that angle with his son.
Yeah,
They want Bishop out of there
yeah,
because he's starting to kill the organization.
yeah,
Hogan left. Hogan left first because him and Bishop started fighting
yeah,
again.
yeah.
That's why he left.
So,
And the Bishop left after that because they're waiting for the end of his contract. And they fired him.
and eventually they did do an angle with Brooke Hogan on there.
Him and yeah, it was a fake marriage thing with Bubba.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah. And then after he left TNA, he came back to WWE doing sporadic appearances.
Yeah,
Hosted,
he's for a contract. Basically, he couldn't wrestle anymore. He knew
yeah,
it, so he decided just to do all one night Raws and
yeah,
intros WrestleManias and all that, and Hall of Fame and all that, and
yeah.
that's one of the things he did.
And he hosted WrestleMania 30
Mm-hmm.
um, in 2014,
Yep.
and then we need to talk about the controversy,
The
because
first one when he was the racist one, right?
yes,
That was
yes,
the first one I
because
remember. He said something racist
here's
on a video. They both lost on his wife, and he said something.
yeah, yeah. So what stained his reputation for the remainder of his life was in 2015, 10 years to the day prior to his death,
Right.
there was a leak out where he said something about he doesn't want his daughter Brooke to marry African Americans
It was during his sex tape.
during the
But
sex tape at
Bubba
Pit.
lost one his wife. The sex
Yeah,
tape they recorded it, and someone said someone stole it. But Hogan put it out.
yeah,
And he forgot about the racist thing, and then that's when the conflict started.
yeah, yeah.
He forgot to take
And
that
it
out.
stained his reputation all over the
Yep.
place.
He said the N word. He didn't say the AA. He said the N word.
Yeah, he said the N
That's
word
what got his
and
reputation.
everything else.
He started
Um,
the racist word. He said.
during that time, that was not the thing to say or
Oh,
do.
at that time, another time after that, because
Yeah,
African Americans were those African Americans, and some people can say the N word, but not in like bad context. But
no, no,
he's the kind of bad context part of
yeah,
it. That's why they don't mind the word coming out, but you say it really bad, like Hogan said it. That's when it hits.
yeah,
He said
yeah,
it in a bad way.
yeah. You don't say that.
No,
Not in that
unless
context.
it's a good way, and everybody accepts it.
Yeah,
Like everybody
yeah,
says, I'm going to music right now because Memphis says the N word in the break stuff video, but Dre accepted it. Snoop Dogg accepted it. They were in the video. He was just saying what it was like. They weren't being racist. A lot of people
yeah,
said it was racist video. If it was, why did Snoop Dogg do it? Why did Dre appear in the video?
yeah,
There you go. Stop
yeah,
the
yeah.
controversy. It wasn't
So
controversy the way they said it. It was a proper text. Was it like
yeah,
because a lot of people think you say an N word. No, a lot of people accept it as proper text. But if you say it bad way, uh-uh.
no, no, no.
No, never. No.
So yeah,
Because
that said,
Drake co-wrote the song with Durst.
yeah,
Drake stuff. He co-wrote it. That's why Drake put it in there.
yeah. So after that incident happened,
Right.
he loses his endorsements. He loses his Hall of Fame spot with WWE.
No, he's still in the Hall of Fame, but is an
He was
asterisk.
later reinstated. He was later
Right.
reinstated.
Right. Yeah, because they said it was,
So
they said it after his career. But then
yeah,
they reinstated him back in there. Well, they did put a star in his name,
yeah,
not to invite him back. He's still in there. But the asterisk next thing, not to invite him back to any more Raws and SmackDowns until he apologized and waited a few years and they took the asterisk off
yeah, yeah. So
of the Hall of Fame.
the
That's what got plus side
yeah,
again.
yeah. So the thing was after that, um, we also have him coming out. So after everything dies down from it,
Right. It took a while.
it took about 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they eventually bring him back for sporadic appearances, like a birthday or celebration or something. Bring him
Mostly
back
WrestleManias.
for
Mostly beginning WrestleManias, when
you
for
know
Austin and
the
everyone else.
occasional WrestleMania appearances, and also when um, Mean Gene passed away, he came out and said something
Yeah.
about it. And he was teary eyed.
Once he came back, then a few years after they came back with endorsement deals he wanted to talk
Yeah,
about. Like his store and the
yeah,
beer and all that stuff.
yeah,
That's he
yeah.
used that platform
So,
for his own stuff.
so all of his appearances was mostly positive after that. He did go on to a public apology for what he said. Some people accepted it, others did not. Um, and
Very hard.
then we go on to his last public appearance
Boo
on,
City. I saw that
yeah,
live. Boo City. And Hogan just kept blowing up on his
yeah,
beard in
yeah.
front of Boo
So,
City.
so there's some context to that. So prior to that, his previous public appearance was at a Republican National Convention.
Yes. I won't forget that.
So that was an issue number one to endorse Trump. That's well and okay. He's good friends with Trump, anyway.
Yeah, Trump had both back-to-back
I
WrestleManias
mean,
as Casino, and then he did hair versus hair match. And
yeah. I mean, there was all those things. So
he's
of
friends
course
with
he's
some
going
basically.
to have Hulk Hogan on there to endorse him.
Yep.
That's not going to be the big issue. The big issue is the location of that Raw. So the Raw was in Los Angeles
Yep.
for the debut of Raw on Netflix.
Right. For endorsing his
So,
beer.
and
Endorsing his
he
real American beer.
comes to endorse his
Real
American
American
beer.
beer. Real American beer.
Yeah, Jimmy Hort's coming out waving the American flag, and he's just being booed out of the building. Um, and it's mostly wrong place, wrong time situation.
Right.
Um, if they did it
They
in,
also he wanted to talk about his wrestling organization with Bischoff, but they wouldn't let him do it.
yeah,
Whereas
so
this is continue that federation on
yeah, so
as separate entity.
the issue is that if they did it in like Tennessee, Florida, or somewhere down south or somewhere like that, or probably even like New York or Pennsylvania or somewhere, he would have gotten cheered. But they chose a blue state, and I realize this is going into politics here, going on with a blue state
Right.
who still remembers what he said 10 years ago, and also um, all the other stuff that was going on
Sorry
um,
about that.
in
I'm having a kick in my neck. I finally
yeah,
got it. The stuff
yeah,
on neck wrong. I've been trying to do it throughout the show. I finally got
yeah,
the kink out. Sorry about
yeah.
it, folks. I have a kick in
So,
my neck.
so he has all these bad timings come up
Yep.
on this endorsement deal,
Right.
and
Before they had the operation months later.
yeah, and it, and all I could say is, I was hoping to talk to Jimmy Hart about this during the Comic Con, but I wasn't able to go this year.
Okay.
But
I never go to those. They're
I
too
was
expensive.
just trying to get,
My state, they're too expensive because of the high tax rate.
yeah, yeah,
That's why it's so expensive. That's why I never go to one because it's too
yeah,
expensive
yeah,
for me. If it's smaller state, I would, but
yeah. I mean, I had enough money for the tickets, but me getting over there with no car is the big issue right now.
yeah.
So,
I got a shit car, so
yeah.
it
So,
breaks down on me most of the time.
yeah, yeah.
I know how you feel.
I'm so during this whole podcast situation here, we're sitting here thinking, okay, what's going on here? And top and my former co-host Tyler is like, man, don't worry about the tickets, don't worry about everything. We're going to go to the Comic Con this year, and we're going to talk to Jimmy Hart. I'm like, okay,
Oh, your former
that's
host. Okay.
no
Former
big problem.
co-host. Okay.
And I'm like,
That's nice.
okay, so what should we ask? What would be the best way to ask him about the Netflix incident there? And
Ask him
he,
straight out. You don't like kind questions. You just answer a question. He'll either give you an answer or he doesn't want to talk about it.
yeah,
Just
and
ask him a straight question. He'll talk to you.
yeah,
Wants to, but doesn't want air on the air or anything like that. Just keep it on wraps and probably see and want to talk
yeah,
about. That's how
yeah,
he was. He just talks straight up doing runaround.
yeah.
Straight
So
talk to him like a person. So he'll talk to you straight
yeah,
like a person.
yeah,
Joe said
yeah,
that.
yeah.
He likes
But
to talk to his fans.
yeah, but we broke it down, and we said, and he's still a little bit better over Hulk Hogan.
He won't talk. We won't talk about that. I don't think he talk about it on TV. But
I'm talking.
I don't.
I'm
I
not
don't
talking
think
about
like
Jimmy
this.
Hart. Jimmy Hart and Hogan
I
are
know.
best
Talking about
friends.
Jimmy Hart would be the same thing. He
Yeah,
probably didn't
yeah,
want to
yeah,
talk about it
yeah,
because he was kind of about that too.
yeah, yeah.
I think the
But
taboo. I think maybe taboo talk is on the air. You know what I mean?
Jimmy Hart has talked about what happened, though.
Right, but not a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Not to be like go on someone's podcast about him knowing, after you talk to him,
yeah,
you know what, it aired on your podcast and you do it
yeah,
anyhow. That's what, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Guys,
So
sometime he'll do himself on a podcast, but if
yeah,
someone else
yeah,
does
yeah,
it for
yeah,
him, he
yeah,
get
yeah,
mad.
yeah. So
He did himself, basically, is what he did.
yeah, so I did talk. I mean, Tyler was still a little bitter on Hulk Hogan.
I
Um,
feel a lot of us were because of the booing of what was
yeah,
going on at the
yeah,
time.
yeah. From
I
what he
really feel
said, because if you don't know, if you haven't watched all the early shows,
I
um,
watched I watched
yeah,
him up to this one.
yeah. So you would know that Tyler's black.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
African
So
Americans still don't like him. It's what he said. I don't blame him.
yeah,
Some
yeah, yeah.
I don't blame him. They still hate
So
him for it
he's
because he
still,
said they said in the wrong context,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
I don't blame
He's
him.
still
I really, a lot of black people don't like Hogan anymore
he was
after that.
still a little bit
A lot of people
bitter.
don't like him either. So there you go.
Yeah, still a little bit bitter of what was said with,
Very hard to get over.
yeah,
Very hard.
hard to,
Why do you think some of these wrestlers that came back and all of a sudden their marks come back on?
yeah,
Recently, they fired Tessa Blanchard TNA for her honor her marks, but then she
yeah,
got back at them by hurting a commentator
yeah,
unprovoked. They were not supposed to happen.
yeah,
She got fired after that because they were fired anyhow. There was a racist deal got back on the air again.
yeah, yeah.
So she
So
got mad about it, so she took it out on the commentator because they were going to fire her anyhow, and she wanted to do things her way.
yeah,
That was unprovoked. That was not supposed to happen. No one knew it was supposed to happen. She just did it on her own
yeah,
just
yeah.
to get fired quicker. That's why she's now suspended indefinitely. I don't know if she's coming back or not, but every
I think she
can
is back.
come back to haunt you, and that's what's going to happen. Same thing with Hogan.
Yeah,
It came back to haunt him because everybody kept playing it.
yeah.
That's
So
what happens. A lot of these
there's
wrestlers
his
come
comments
back, and
from,
then they're fired after that, like
yeah,
Hogan was.
yeah. So there's his comments from 10 years ago, and his endorsement of Trump in a bad area. So obviously those are the reasons why
Yeah,
he,
political aspects. I know don't want
yeah,
Trump.
yeah. So
And
those
that's why
were,
Trump's not getting back at people for doing stuff he's doing now. Like I said a week or two ago, I'm sorry I said that on the air, but
yeah,
a lot of people might be going off the air, and we might have this Trump TV. I'm saying a year or two, he's going to attack everybody else.
yeah, yeah.
Already started to attack Jimmy Kimmel, and now he's starting to start attacking Jimmy Fallon, get them off the air too. They're both saying bad things about since they're
I
supporting.
mean,
But wait, let's get off of that right now.
yeah, yeah.
Back to Hogan. I don't want to talk. I
Let's
don't want
not
to rant
go
again.
into
I apologize for last week. Everybody disagreed with me on it. I apologize. It just came out.
let's not go into politics right now.
I had if let's get back into this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Sorry.
so um, so then Hogan still
Endorsement.
does his endorsements, still does his
Thing. Yep.
commercials for American beer, still does his interviews and other appearances, all positives. And then um, about a few weeks ago, he goes in for surgery. Um,
It wasn't routine. It was a very
it
delicate
was a
surgery.
routine surgery.
It wasn't
People,
routine. It wasn't really routine because the Pat Parr's heart was tricky. He
yeah,
wanted to get it done. He said it had a 50-50 chance.
yeah.
He wanted it
So
done. He thought he could survive.
yeah, so
So he had it
there
done.
weren't any real death rumors at that time, but
No. He kept it to himself because he didn't know he was going to die after the surgery. He was
yeah,
like 50-50.
yeah.
It was so
But
delicate.
there
Not
were,
routine. It wasn't a routine surgery. It's very dangerous
yeah,
surgery.
yeah. So
That's why you want to say anything
so
about it. He's
when he
private.
when he was in the hospital, there were rumors about what was going on with him, but
Always.
they weren't um, like dire. Oh, he's about to die situation.
No,
It,
it was a surprise. He
it
said
was
possibly
like
something like possibly might have a heart attack,
the,
and then
the the
oh,
worst thing that
after
they would say was, "Oh, he was in a coma,"
Uh,
and
no, he wasn't. A lot of people said Bubba Sponge still had a thing against him, so he kept saying his speculations. Bubba the Love Sponge had said that. It's all
yeah,
speculation. Everybody says, no, it's not true. If he was, he would never went home. He
yeah,
would still be in the hospital.
yeah,
And that was a big fat lie because Hogan was not in a coma. He's
yeah,
laying in bed speaking.
yeah,
Because they will not let him out of the hospital if he had a coma. He'd be hooked up to machines.
yeah.
They will
So
never let him stay home. I'm telling you right now,
yeah,
I'm volunteer forever. I know this shit.
yeah.
A lot of people
So
told me they were comas told me the same exact thing. They'll never send you home.
yeah, so he eventually goes home from being all clear and things.
Mm-hmm.
And Thursday morning happens. You're a fire.
Complication,
Yeah,
complication from it.
you know more about what would happen, what would be going on
Yeah,
than
it's like
most.
50-50. It might be complications. They can
Yeah,
kill him. He wanted to go through with it.
yeah. So
He was wanting to get that taken care of.
he goes into
Really, really
cardiac
bad.
arrest on Thursday.
Yeah, it was bad. It said
Yeah,
he might have a cardiac arrest. Yeah, it can happen like that. It can happen suddenly without knowing it. Healthy 1 minute, boom, the next.
yeah, yeah,
Nobody knew he was dying. Nobody, he didn't know he was dying until that happened. Doctors told him what was going to happen, possibly, and he decided to take the risk.
yeah, yeah. Um, so here's what was going on here.
I know what it's let the folks know if they don't know. I already know what was going on. I heard everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Let them go out for a minute. But
There was a 911 call from his wife saying that he was going to cardiac arrest. There was a dispatch saying the urgency of it. Paramedics, cops come by. There's footage of him being carted out of his.
and people are talking about they should never released it. A
Yeah,
lot of people are now getting pitchy about that.
yeah, yeah. And he was
People are going to
pronounced.
present that later on.
Yeah,
So
and he was pronounced dead around 11:15 that
they're
morning.
all doing CPR. Everybody was before the others said they're to do CPR. Everybody was trying to do CPR and didn't work.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So
anything, you got the healthy one next. There you go. On
yeah,
the next, you never know.
yeah. So the the problem with that is is when that is at that time and they're announcing his passing.
Right?
Um, would you say that they would have announced his that he would have died at his home or in transit or at the hospital?
They're trying CPR. It's all they were doing. But they can't really pronounce them dead unless you have a doctor there. There's no doctor. Doctor's the only one to pronounce him dead. They're doing CPR. I don't know if he was already dead. They're all doing CPR. No one knew he died. He
Yeah,
still. They said he had a faint pulse. That's why they're doing CPR. But
yeah,
I think when they went to the hospital and put the machines on him, that's when I think he faded. Either when he got to the hospital or they got into the emergency room.
okay,
Because only a doctor can pronounce someone dead. You cannot pronounce
okay,
the scene. You're not. It's against the law. The doctor has to do it. He probably already died, and then he couldn't announce until he got to the hospital.
okay.
You don't know when he
Um,
died. He had a faint pulse. Is all he said. And so doing CPR. I don't
yeah,
know when he died, but
yeah, yeah,
that's they announced the death at the
yeah.
hospital.
So, do you think
You
that
know why he died.
um, do you think at any point that they would have administered the AED on him?
It was too late. They tried CPR. AD wouldn't work for fatal heart attack. He had a faint
Okay,
pulse. The thing will just say he had a faint pulse, heart was going. You have to do CPR. That's just a monitor. It's not a heart device. It's a monitor that monitors your heart rate. He had a weak heart rate. That's when they did That's when the paramedics did more CPR. He must have
Yeah.
died either on the way to the hospital or at the hospital. Because AD
Yeah.
only tells the rhythm of your heart and what you need to do. They don't want to put a needle in it because he just had heart surgery.
Yeah.
They couldn't do the needle in the heart at all because it might have made it worse. But they said it was kind of too late by the time he got to the hospital. So
Yeah.
the AD is just a monitoring
So
device. That's all it is.
yeah. So in your experience, after someone had heart surgery and things,
I did lie here say so.
um, how often or once once an event like that happens,
Rarely, very rarely. Like my aunt died of a heart attack because she had diabetes, but the back of her heart, which I think Hogan might have had the same thing,
yeah,
was blocked, and she couldn't get the surgery because she was diabetic, so that's why she couldn't get hers. But I think his is kind of the same thing, but not as bad. So they tried to trigger surgery to see if they can save the heart. Well, it was successful, yes, but anything can trigger it. Anything can surprise you. I mean,
yeah,
doctors don't know if you have a heart attack. They say possibility, possibility, possibilities, all possibilities, but they agree to it. He
yeah,
wanted it done. Because he
yeah.
knew either way he probably would die and didn't know it'd
So
be this soon.
yeah,
That's what shock.
yeah,
It shouldn't have been this soon, but
yeah.
that's what happens. It's based surprise
So,
and shock. Anyone can die from heart surgery. So, oh, it's successful. Then 2 days later, you're dead. It's a very shocking thing.
okay,
It's not planned. It just happens.
okay. So when
But
you heard,
any type of heart surgery, it will
yeah,
happen.
yeah. So when you heard about the cardiac arrest at his home, how how
If surprisingly, because like I said, that heart surgery is very delicate, and he thought they could save him. Hogan wanted it done.
yeah,
Because he
yeah.
know either
So
way he probably would die anyhow.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he thought it might have a longevity more if he had it done.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
and
now,
that's when it affected either his heart decided to give up or the surgery didn't correct everything.
yeah,
It might miss something. Anything
yeah,
like that can
yeah,
happen to
yeah,
give you a heart attack.
yeah. So,
That's my
yeah,
speculation.
yeah,
Not because people told me in the first search, but like I said, I don't know nothing.
yeah,
I'm not an
yeah.
expert.
I'm
I'm just
not.
saying a
I'm not
possibility.
asking about all that here. I'm saying
Possibility.
in your experience,
Shock. Like you're
right
saying,
when you see, right when you hear the words Hogan having to be rushed, the paramedics came to Hogan's house for a cardiac arrest. Um, when you hear that, when you first heard that not them announcing that he's dead or anything, just that
well, they didn't
he's
announce it to the day he died. They had a cardiac arrest. They didn't announce anything until
yeah,
that
yeah,
Thursday,
yeah,
day of
until
the
after he
day
died.
after the cardiac arrest. It wasn't announced to the day of his death that the
Yeah,
cardiac
yeah,
arrest happened.
yeah,
They didn't say
yeah,
nothing. No media coverage. No nothing
yeah,
about it
yeah,
until he died. Because
yeah,
he's a very private person. He didn't like to talk to me much, but life was private. After Hogan Knows Best failed, everything started unraveling then, and then he wanted to become a private
yeah,
person after the videotape came out, and he became
yeah,
so
yeah,
private
yeah,
and nobody knew much about his life except for his marriage.
yeah,
But anything
yeah.
else, no one knew of the
So
heart surgery till he announced it after the surgery
yeah,
happened. That's when
yeah,
he announced he had heart surgery.
yeah.
No one knew he had surgery till stated that he had heart surgery. He should be fine.
Okay.
That's what he
So
said. That's what he said on the media TMZ when they found out, and he made a statement.
yeah, yeah,
Not on camera, but they showed a picture of him in the hospital, and they read the statement.
yeah.
And
So
then anything can happen a few days later. You never know. It shocked everybody. It shocked me
yeah,
because his heart surgery came with a little more life, but not that quick.
yeah, yeah,
Like that, anything can mess up a heart surgery. Still strong pulse when he's had cardiac arrest. When MS got there, he had a faint pulse. So either between his home and the hospital, he probably died because he had a
yeah,
faint pulse. Basically, he put the heart monitor on there, and he found out he had the heart thing, and he had a faint pulse. That's the CPR.
yeah,
I was explaining to people that the heart monitor is a monitor. It's not, and they do shock. They didn't want to shock it because he
yeah,
just had heart surgery. They shock, yeah, shocking things. I could shock it with it, but since he had heart surgery, they didn't want to use
yeah,
it. They monitored him. They
yeah,
didn't want to use the shock because he knew might something happen
yeah,
to his
yeah.
heart because he like since
So
weren't healed yet. And you want to do it when he got heart surgery, stitch your seal because it'll kill him. But then they want you to do CPR. It's all you can do
yeah.
safely. You can't do
So
anything else but CPR. You
yeah,
can't shock him or nothing.
yeah.
So it's kind of, I think it's kind of like ambulance driver in the hospital. He must have died.
Yeah. And after
So
you hear the faint pulse situation, you immediately know that if
CPR
CPR is not
immediately.
working, then it's
You're doing
must.
CPR until you get to the hospital, and then the doctor's the only one that can tell you if he died. If
Yeah.
he's dead, man, you still do CPR. You can't stop because you're not a
Okay.
doctor. You're an EMT
Okay.
or a firefighter. You're not allowed to do that. Just keep doing you doing until you get to the
Yeah.
hospital. Let the doctor
Yeah.
determine what it
So
is because that's legal. You can't do it yourself.
yeah. So
You're not legalized to do that.
how many times have you been in that situation?
I did CPR one time my aunt when she died, and it didn't work.
Okay. Okay.
That's the only time I was only EMTs at the time before we started doing ourselves that could do CPR.
Okay.
But then when EMTs
Okay.
started dying and volunteer, the firefighters started learning how to do it.
Okay.
But
So
EMTs were the only ones who could do it
in
at the
your
time.
career as a firefighter, how many times have you had to do CPR and it actually work?
I never did
In that?
CPR because, like I said, our fire department
Okay.
was a small apartment, and
Yeah.
a lot of other guys were there, but lived in the village. I lived outside the village. So
Yeah.
I saw them doing CPR, but I never did it.
Okay.
At one
But
time,
you,
I seen several times because EMTs and chiefs were the only ones who could do it because they were trained. At the time, nobody was trained for CPR
yeah.
until like the mid '90s, and then they started doing CPR classes for
Okay.
everybody. Because you never was, if you
Yeah.
remember anything
Yeah.
else, you started to learn CPR back in the early mid '90s, basically.
Yeah.
And as
Yeah.
they say, is that everybody do CPR in
Yeah.
the fire department,
Yeah.
not just the EMTs,
Yeah.
but mostly EMTs had to do it on the calls.
Yeah. So yeah, the reason.
They're trained by the state,
Yeah. Yeah.
doctors, medical physicians.
Yeah. The reason why I ask these questions here is one.
Firefighters are different, so they
Yeah.
must did
Yeah. Yeah.
theirs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So the reason why I ask these questions is because we all know that with heart attacks and cardiac arrest, time is of the essence. You need
yes,
to,
time is essence.
yeah, you have to react immediately to it.
They were doing CPR immediately when she called.
Yeah,
One of his people were there, and they started doing CPR
yeah,
when she called.
yeah. So
That's how he knew it was a heart attack. The
yeah,
way his
yeah,
pulse was.
yeah. So that's why I'm trying to figure out what percentage would they have in actually saving his life at that point.
Very
Very
little with
little.
heart surgery. Very little
Okay.
heart surgery. That's
So
all.
so
Very little.
it was going to be inevitable at this point.
Because it was so close to surgery, it's very little you could do.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It was after surgery, like about like 6 months to a year. Yeah, it'd be different. You hook the thing on and did the
yeah.
injection thing to get him life, but you couldn't do it when because it
Yeah.
might kill his
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah. So
So either way, you couldn't do it.
yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah. 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 So moving on.
Okay.
Um so his legacy is going to be polarized overall. It's going to take
Yeah, wrestling career only, not as anything. This is wrestling career.
yeah. Yeah.
Everything else is going to be put on the back burner.
w-
Yes, everybody's going to remember him as a wrestler. Some people
yeah.
might remember him, but
Yeah. There's
it's
some
going to
positives, some negatives
like,
on
it's
him.
going to be that for a while. Yes, it's going to be that for a while.
Um but where would you rank him in the top wrestlers overall?
Of all time, well, let's
Yes.
see. Actually, number three, because you got Bruno Sammartino,
Yeah.
you got Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
Those are two toppers everyone's going to remember for the longest reigns. Hogan was just multiple champion, but the other guys had longer reigns.
Yeah.
Because back then, Bruno Sammartino was the most popular. Bob Backlund came second. He was a golden boy before Hogan came in.
He's going to be
I think
in.
I was going to say Hogan's number one, but my opinion is number three. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
Bruno and Bob were better champions than Hogan was because they were always defending on television. Hogan did not.
Yeah.
It was a different era.
Yeah. Wrestling wise, top 5. Personal wise, probably top 10.
Yeah, he'd be always in the top 10. No
Yeah.
matter where he's in the top 10, he's always going to be in the
No
top 10
matter
as well.
where top
Early
10.
his career in the NWO thing, that's it. Everything
Yeah.
else is going to fall out of
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. So yeah, minus the controversies of him. Yeah,
Yep.
he's gonna
But
be.
the champ, I got to preach him as a wrestler because
Yeah.
he's the one to put wrestling on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it away from him.
It's.
Remember all the controversies. Everybody's going to remember him for that. All the other thing on the back burner, not going to remember him. Some people will, some people won't. Because it's the difference between this character and his own self.
Yeah.
That's what they remember, his character, not him, his character himself.
Yeah.
And I can remember his real life or anything. They still talk about it, but they're gonna celebrate his wrestling career. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Not his personal life.
Yeah.
All God reaches me into wrestling. How many wrestlers he brought up, how many wrestlers he helped start careers. You know.
True.
You see, same with Andre the Giant, same thing. If Hogan didn't like you, he hurt you.
No.
So Andre
No.
trained him.
What would you say would be a dream match for Hulk Hogan that he should have? Some wrestlers that he should have faced that he never actually faced.
3 wrestlers, in my opinion. At least
Okay.
4, but he already faced The Rock. Steve Austin's on the top.
Okay.
Steve Austin on top. Second one should have went against Big Daddy Cool Diesel. If that was the NWO was stupid. But if he had Diesel in his career and Hogan was still wrestling WWE, that would be a good match right there. Not the NWO bull crap. That'd be another
Yeah.
good match right there. They're both actual wrestlers. Number 3, Kurt Hennig.
I thought they
He
already
should done.
faced.
He faced Kurt Hennig, yes, but he should have done more matches for Kurt Hennig instead of that one match he did
Okay.
in the NWO. Because he never faced him. He only faced him one time, but it was on pay-per-view. But it was, it was a crap match, basically. But he should have done more with Kurt Hennig because Kurt Hennig was an actual wrestler, and he should have done more with Kurt Hennig, in my opinion. He didn't do much with him, but he should have done more with him,
Okay.
in my opinion. They did a TV match with him, when he first came in.
Yeah.
They should have done a championship match with him. Never did championship match with him. That should have been a championship match right there. To both trained athletes.
Yeah.
They should have done a match with that. That's my 3 picks.
Top guys. It's probably gonna be a bigger list here for.
Yeah, because everybody else is fake.
So everyone has a different opinion.
Yeah, we
Um,
all have their opinions.
and correct me if he has actually had matches with these guys.
Okay,
Okay. So there's Bruno Sammartino.
never happened. Well, he did one time. I think he did one time a non-televised match when he first got WWE. But
Yeah.
that was like a test match
Yeah.
to see if you make him or not. As a good guy, but no, he became
Yeah.
a bad guy. And that was an earlier dark match when he
Yeah.
first got in. No one really talks about that, but
Yeah.
it did happen right here.
Superstar Billy Graham.
Nope, Bill Graham left the organization long before Hogan got there.
Yeah.
After he lost to the Bob Backlund.
Yeah. I say that would be a big dream match there.
That'll be pretty much there, but when Superstar wanted to come back and do it, he still screwed
Yeah.
up his career.
Yeah.
That never happened. Would have been a good match though.
Yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course.
He did good match with him, but he never wrestled him.
Yeah.
That should have been good. Like I said, he didn't want the way Hogan wrestled. He said he might have hurt him more.
Yeah.
Eventually, around as he does neck shots when he clotheslines, he might have hurt his neck again.
I would say Dusty Rhodes.
Let me see. Yeah. I think he did with NWO. I'm not sure.
I'm not
I
sure.
have to go back to see if I can find any dark matches on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I'm pretty sure he did a match with Triple H.
No, he didn't.
He only did segments with him.
He and Triple H were always like they never wrestled each other.
Okay.
Never did because by the time Triple H got WWE, Hogan left already.
What about in his return?
And his return, he's not going against Triple H. No.
Okay.
Triple H was too much of a big star at the time. He didn't want Hogan ruin that. That's why he did all the other angles. And Triple H didn't want to work with Hogan because he knew Hogan would kick his ass.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
That never
And
happened. Not when he was an undercard wrestler at the time either.
Yeah.
He never did it. I
Yeah.
wrestled him.
Later on in his career, I would say also John Cena. passing of the
Yeah,
torch
that
there.
would have been a good match, but they wanted the Rocky match instead.
Yeah.
It was a much bigger profile match. John Cena was just starting his career. It wouldn't have been a good match at
Yeah.
WrestleMania. That's why he went with The Rock. It's more high profile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
But
John Cena was still a little green at the time. He was he still learned the ropes. And
I would say
Hogan didn't want to start doing that again towards the end of his
he
career.
Hulk was still wrestling in 2005, so I would say that that would have been a good retirement match.
Because in around 2004, 2005, John Cena just started. That's when he went against it's his career starting to do his rapping thing, and basically, he's still green at
Yeah.
the time. A lot of wrestlers still couldn't work with him.
Yeah.
He didn't really learn much until Triple H forced him to learn.
Yeah.
That was after Hogan left.
Yeah.
When Triple H started got him learning stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's like a wrestler. I'm do this, do that. He had to learn the hard way. That's why he
Yeah.
didn't get a lot of championship matches early in his career.
Yeah.
That's why Kurt Angle beat him because he was so green.
Yeah.
You got to carry him in the match, and he had to relearn. He had to learn a lot of things the hard way.
Yeah. So
That one been
yeah.
a good. If it was laying around like it was 2010, 2011, yeah, that would have been a good match that way. If it was around that time because
Yeah.
he was finally learned the ropes,
Yeah.
becoming champion finally. He should at that time. He should have when he came back around 2000, late 2000. He should have done that.
Yeah.
That would have been a good match right there. But earlier on,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
he was too
So
great.
yeah. The and other matches would be like scenario matches where he would be like prime Hogan versus this current superstar. I'm pretty sure that some people would say that, like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, but
Yeah, I
those
like the matches right there. And if he was in his prime, yes.
yeah, those would be like what if matches, like if they do a
He
time
did go
machine.
against Samoans back then too.
Yeah.
He went against a lot of Samoan
Yeah.
family back then. He
Yeah.
went against King Haku,
Yeah.
Bing, at the time, and he was managed by Heenan. At the time, Bobby was trying to go after him. He went against Wild Samoans in a dark tag team match early in his career with, I think it was Andre at the time. I wasn't too sure. That match has never been found, but he did go against the Wild Samoans in a tag match early in his career. It was not shown on TV. Like I said, they're testing him at the time. Same time he
Yeah.
wrestled Bruno Sammartino, but he did go against Wild Samoans.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he rips a lot of Samoans during his career. That's why I said be a good match. He knows how the Samoans fight. So that'll be a good match with him and Roman.
Yeah.
Definitely. Roman would love that dream. He was loved wanting to wrestle Hogan. He said he should have done it, but they didn't bring him up in time. So
That is
basically,
true.
he loved to wrestle Hogan, he said.
Yeah.
Wrestle his
Yeah.
father, he would love to wrestle him.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Other ones could also be like Antonio Inoki.
He did.
He did.
In Japan, they both fought in Japan. When
Okay.
Hogan went first over there, he was still a big star. Inoki wanted to wrestle him, so he had wrestling. It
Yeah.
wasn't televised. It was an arena match. I read it in the books, in the
Yeah.
magazines. At the time, we had magazines back then. No
Yeah.
arena. All these wrestling magazines covered it. WE showed part of the match at one of their
Yeah.
TV shows, but they hadn't shown.
Yeah.
I think you can still find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
But they did go against each other.
Yeah.
I think it was either time of the draw or Inoki won. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
remember the ending,
Yeah.
but it was a very long match. Everybody
And,
loved it.
and other
That's why Hogan was
classic
so expected. So Hogan was so expected in Japan. So
Yeah.
he went against Inoki.
Yeah. and other classic wrestlers that either retired or died before his breakout would probably be like Gorgeous George, Luthez, and Buddy
Well,
Rogers.
basically, it would have been a technical match, not the way Hogan liked to wrestle much.
Yeah.
They're all too technical at the time. Back then, it was all techniques and it wasn't like the big giant guys or anything like that. Yeah, it'd be totally different for Hogan to wrestle. Hogan probably would not keep up with him.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, back then before the '60s, it was all tech.
Yeah.
Before all these other people started coming up, like the original Sheik when he came violent, and everybody else, the Funks. That's when his wrestling started to change. If at that time, yeah, Hogan would keep up with those guys definitely. That was his kind of style when in the late '60s, early '70s, the style was changing.
True.
Basically, went from technical style to brawling and everything else. Why everything changed? Everything has changed. Hogan at the time will definitely gonna go wrong with the Sheik, Original
Yeah.
Sheik. Definitely go wrong with him. And
Yeah.
you already know he did the Funk, so
Yeah.
X them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he did the
So,
Funk already.
yeah,
So but him and the Sheik would have had a great match. Original Sheik would have had a great match.
definitely. Did he ever have a match with Sabu?
No,
Hmm.
they met, but they never had a match
Okay.
because Hogan couldn't handle Sabu. He's too much hardcore. He
Yeah.
wasn't a technical guy. Hogan would never ever keep up with him. He said he was too much of a good wrestler, too much advanced, trained by his
Yeah.
uncle, did all his high flying, those figure stuff.
Yeah.
Hogan said he will never handle that. He probably would have
Okay.
got injured.
Okay.
That because Sabu was never a technical wrestler. He was always a
Okay.
wild man. Never technical.
Okay.
That would never happen. Hogan did not want to face him. Too much of a good wrestler for these days.
Same thing for Eddie Guerrero and
He would win against Eddie Guerrero, yes. He would win against Eddie Guerrero. As he said, he was a good technical, he was a technical wrestler, and also he was a brawler, and sort of like Hogan was,
yeah.
basically. That's why I said that he would like to wrestle him, because they're both kind of evenly
Yeah.
matched right there. He's a
Yeah.
smaller guy, but he can keep up with the big guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Hogan had respect for him. It's the way he handled the big guys on his own.
Yeah. Um.
That would have been a good match there.
Yeah.
If he stayed in WCW and then Hogan then had the NWO, it would have been fun.
Yeah.
Would have been a great match there.
And I just got a text message from someone asking the same question, and they said Rey Mysterio, and I'm
Yeah,
saying
it's because Ray Steele's
they are.
he's the only one of the small guys besides Eddie Guerrero can handle the big guys.
Yeah.
He would like to wrestle him too because he would have had a good match because they all had heart. They never gave up. That's why we have respect for the smaller wrestlers because they never gave up. They just kept on going.
Yeah.
Respect for smaller wrestlers.
Believe it or not, he's wrestled so
When
many.
he went to WCW, he gave Eddie pointers a little bit. You know how to get the big wrestlers. And same thing with Mysterio. He just kind of gave those guys a little bit of pointers, and they took it from there.
He's wrestled Rey Mysterio. He's wrestled Chris Jericho.
Yeah, he's trying to show points, but he never wrestled Eddie. But he talked to Eddie
Yeah.
a lot about how the bigger guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he knew Eddie was going to have a career in WCW, so Eddie, if I wanted to leave, go ahead. WE or someone else will pick him up and be a bigger star. That's what he did. They picked up all the smaller wrestlers. They became bigger stars like Hogan thought.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had heart. That's one thing wrestlers back then didn't have back then.
Yeah.
They all wanted money. No one didn't have heart. You know, younger wrestlers had a heart. That's why WE took them and made them bigger superstars because they had a heart for professional wrestling, not for paychecks. That's what was missing at the time.
If
they loved business, but they couldn't get a chance because of the money grabbers.
Yeah.
If
Hogan, if Hogan was around right now and was able to be on here, what would be the one thing that you would say to him?
Thank him for a great career, great entertaining. Should wrestle a lot more. The three wrestlers I would told him he should have wrestled more. He probably would have agreed with me.
Yeah.
You know, but he would have had a better match with Mr. Perfect, but that match wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Because they rushed it too fast. They wanted a shorter match between them. But Hogan would have had a longer match with him. Because he knew Kurt Hennig could wrestle. Because when he was in the 8 at the time, he saw Kurt Hennig first coming in on his own. And he wasn't there, but he knew him and Scott Hall been bigger stars back then. They won their tag team championship back then, AWA. But Kurt got a star, was being a bigger star there. And Hall went to WE, became a bigger star. It took him a long time because Vern didn't want to get rid of Hennig. Hennig wanted to leave. They wait till everything started going down. He's offered more money to get him, which Vince always wanted him. Because of his history and he's wrestling. Everybody has asked me, those videos he did were fake. I said, no. He did those bloopers on his own. He actually could do all that stuff one-handed because he's an all-around athlete.
Yeah.
Like his father was. But he did a lot of things better because he practiced and practiced and practiced and got things right. Like the bowling segment, the only thing he didn't do was a football segment. That was like 2 segments.
Yeah.
But everything else, like the bowling stuff, he was an excellent bowler because he bowled a long time. Miles Ventus, he did a lot longer, and that's why he produced him on there. Except for the football throw, but
yeah, there's not much.
That's the only one he said they did it on because He wanted a pro football player to throw to him, but Vince didn't want that, so he wanted, that's the only thing he didn't do. He didn't do exactly on his own. You could never beat the football that far
Yeah.
down. That was the only fake, but all around athletes could face Hogan, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would tell him he should have done more career, and he probably would agree with me.
Yeah.
Because the kid had heart.
Any other thoughts on Hulk Hogan?
Well, I think covered everything from his early careers to his later careers to what happened to him outside the business, and
Yep.
all in all, we always say we just said everything.
Yep.
Everything about it. If people don't agree with me, Russ, it's our opinion.
I mean,
You guys got your own.
a lot
Might
of
be
this has
mean or
been
anything, but
fact, not opinion here. His biography, his legacy, his life. Um,
yep.
but yeah, you can argue with us on where he would place
Everyone could argue with
overall.
everybody on it. No matter what you
Yeah.
said, everybody, every podcast, even the wrestling themselves could argue against. Everyone's
Yeah.
got their own opinion.
Yeah. It's a
50 people have their opinions.
yeah. Yeah.
That's all we got right
Everyone has their own opinions on him.
now. Hmm?
He was very polarizing at the end. Had
Yep.
what had happened in 2015, if that had not happened, then everyone would have a more positive feeling cons- um, around him
Right.
overall.
Right.
That's just how I feel. Is that
One more thing I'd like to add. Recently, Brooke Hogan was talked about her father.
yeah
Her and her father are falling out after TNA. They have speak to church.
yeah
He starts speaking on the phone, trying to reconcile. He wanted to meet his grandkids, but he died before he even met them. They're
yeah
starting to reconcile at the time. But after that happened, TNA and everything else fell out, they split. They didn't talk to each other for years.
yeah
And they were
so
starting to try to talk to each other again.
yeah
That's what she missed. She never
I,
saw.
I
She never saw his grandkids.
I've heard
Very sad moment right there.
yeah, there's a lot of clickbait posts concerning about what Brooke said about her father's passing. Um,
She
but
loved him deeply, had their bit, but she never stopped loving him. She never stopped
yeah,
loving her.
yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah.
I'll ask phone calls the
The
last time she talked to me.
yeah
They're both
the
they're trying to
issue yeah the issue is that I'm not going to dig around the
don't dig.
article.
She said they had their problems in the past, just lay them buried.
Yeah,
And she said she always loved them.
yeah,
That's the last time we talked to each other, they say they loved each other.
yeah, yeah,
Just leave it at that. The problems are their problems. Everyone knows out that's a private thing.
yeah, yeah,
I'll leave it at
yeah.
that. That's
So
all I'm gonna say about that. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
That's all I'm say about that.
all right.
Anything else?
Not for tonight. No.
All right,
I
well,
believe
we'll go
that's
through our list again and make sure we get everything the way we
yeah,
want for SummerSlam. So I'm
yeah,
gonna go through my
yeah,
list again to make
yeah.
sure I double check
Look
everything.
look through your days off. Bear in mind I'm off.
I've been doing it every day, on and off of each one. Like go do two or
Yeah,
three of
yeah.
them, and I stop. Two or three more, and I stop until I got to the end.
Okay.
I have my
So
list ready, but now I'm having second thoughts since Hogan died. I'm having second thoughts on some stuff on my
yeah,
list.
yeah.
So
So
I do more Hogan stuff on the list this time,
yeah,
and I have to go through it
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Try
So
DVDs.
yeah. So what we need to do um is on the day that you are completely off. I work from 10:45 to 7:15 my time.
Monday's the only time you get me off because unless I'm doing the other podcast. I
Okay.
haven't done it in a while. He's been so busy. So right now I'm just
Okay.
doing yours
Okay.
until he comes back
So
on. If he comes back on, I'll let you know.
yeah, yeah. So message me on Monday. Um, out after 7:15. I know Raw's gonna be on. We're gonna be watching Raw.
I will. I can't. I'm gonna get my Netflix for a while until I get my
Okay.
other stuff.
Okay.
I'll have it back
So
on. Hopefully by September I should have that Peacock back on. Right now I got financial problems with my new
yeah,
phone and my car phone's being paid off. I'll make sure I got everything.
yeah, yeah.
Since
So
I'm still working, I'm
we
still
need
working on
to
it.
yeah. So
Still
we
working on
will
it
need
now.
to discuss on the top 10 SummerSlams.
Right.
Um, on that day. Are you off on any other day this week?
Thursdays, but I work bingo night. I don't get home till after 10. That's why that one night we started talking at about 10:15 about the Saturday show. And I
Okay.
worked bingo hall for the fire department. We had to make money to keep it going for all the volunteers.
Okay.
So I got to work that night between 5 o'clock and 10. But I'm usually sleep during the day, so I can wait
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
So the only thing you mean
So
is after 10 o'clock. The only way you're getting me.
okay.
So
Okay. And how late do you usually stay up after 10?
well, probably sometimes all night. Sometimes like 2, 3 in the morning.
Okay. Okay.
Remember, I work
So
nights.
yeah.
I don't sleep
So
much at night.
okay. So
You know that.
yeah. So we'll discuss the top 10 on Monday after my work. Try to. And then if we don't have the list completely done at that time, come back, follow up on Thursday, and hopefully nothing else big happens. No one else big dies or anything. No one else. Only other person I can think of, and I'm hoping this doesn't happen. Only other person that I can think of that could derail this is Vince McMahon.
Anytime soon.
I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
Not anytime soon.
No.
Ric Flair maybe, but
Yeah, yeah. So unless something major happens between now, Monday, or Thursday, we should have the top 10 list for SummerSlam completed.
yep. I got my clear, so I don't have to
That
go through.
is
Like I'm gonna go through stuff
that's gonna be
again.
the goal.
I start tomorrow. I'll start going through it again. Make sure I got the
Yeah,
right next time and
yeah,
make any changes.
yeah.
So,
So
well, until then,
yeah. Till then, other than that, that has been Classic Mike.
it
This is Jeremy the Jedi Guillory, also known as the Jedi 08. Thank y'all and good night.
so long.
So there was something I forgot to mention um, in the recording that I need to advertise right now. This week I joined Cameo, um, which, as you know, Cameo is the service where you go out and we do birthday shout outs, anniversaries, and all these other things. So yeah, you can go find me on Cameo. Me personally on Cameo. Classic Mike did not want to do anything with it. But hey, I'm all for it. Um, so yeah, if you want me to do birthday shout outs, anniversaries, celebrations, anything you want me to say or do, yeah, just find me on Cameo. I should be under the Wrestlers podcast. Um, those kind of categories, and you should be able to find me. Very cheap, $12. Not that bad. Not that bad. So, yeah. Um, so yeah, you can find me on Cameo. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat. So yeah, yeah, you can. Um, but again, like, share, subscribe, do what you need to do. Find me on Cameo. Book me for whatever you need to book me for, and we'll go from there. So yeah, yeah. Um, Again, this is the Jai 08. Thank you and good night. Jedi out.